currently reading books in the bookstore. Oh, and I'm gonna have to just remember to finish editing all of them. But I think what I had to do was I'd finished over here. So I had to read
Whatever you're looking for,
the
I'm
Biography
sure
of
I don't know how to
Barenziah,
find it.
1, 2, and the Brief History of the Empire, and maybe Galerion the Mystic. I'm not sure if I read Galerion the Mystic last time.
There is someone watching me, I can tell.
Alright. Let's start with Biography of Barenziah. Biography of Queen Barenziah by Stern Gamboj, Imperial Scribe. Late in the Second Era, a girl child, Barenziah, was born to the rulers of the kingdom of Mournhold in what is now the Imperial province of Morrowind. She was reared in all the luxury and security befitting a royal dark elven child until she reached 5 years of age. At that time, His Excellency Tiber Septim I, the first emperor of Tamriel, demanded that the decadent rulers of Morrowind yield to him and imperial reforms. Trusting to their vaunted magic, the Dark Elves impudently refused until Tiber Septim's army was on the borders. An armistice was hastily signed by the now eager Dunmer, but not before there were several battles, one of which laid waste to Mournhold, now called Almalexia. Needed a little water. Little Princess Barenziah and her nurse were found among the wreckage. The Imperial General Symmachus, himself a dark elf, suggested to Tiber Septim that the child might someday be valuable, and she was therefore placed with a loyal supporter who had recently retired from the Imperial army. Sven Advinson had been granted the title of Count upon his retirement. His fiefdom, Darkmoor, was a small town in central Skyrim. Count Sven and his wife reared the princess as their own daughter, seeing to it that she was educated appropriately, and more importantly, that the imperial virtues of obedience, discretion, loyalty, and piety were instilled in the child. In short, she was made fit to take her place as a member of the new ruling class of Morrowind. The girl Barenziah grew in beauty, grace, and intelligence. She was sweet-tempered, a joy to her adoptive parents and their 5 young sons, who loved her as their elder sister. Other than her appearance, she differed from young girls of her class only in that she had a strong empathy for the woods and fields, and she was wont to escape her household duties to wander there at times. Barenziah was happy and content until her 16th year, when a wicked orphan stable boy, whom she had befriended out of pity, told her he had overheard a conspiracy between her guardian, Count Sven, and a Redguard visitor to sell her as a concubine in Rihad, as no Nord or Breton would marry her on account of her black skin, and no Dark Elf would have her because of her foreign upbringing. "Whatever shall I do?" the poor girl said, weeping and trembling, for she had been brought up in innocence and trust, and it never occurred to her that her friend the stable boy would lie to her. The wicked boy, who was called Straw, said that she must run away if she valued her virtue, but that he would come with her as her protector. Sorrowfully, Barenziah agreed to this plan, and that very night she disguised herself as a boy, and the pair escaped to the nearby city of Whiterun. After a few days... Hey, Metla, welcome in! I'm an orc! Yay! Thank you for the redeem. I'm happy you're here, Metla. After a few days there, they managed to get jobs as guards for a disreputable merchant caravan. The caravan was heading east by side roads in a mendacious attempt to elude the lawful tolls charged on the Imperial highways. Thus the pair eluded pursuit until they reached the city of Riften, where they ceased their travels for a time. They felt safe in Riften, close as it was to the Morrowind border, so that the Dark Elves were close enough of a common sight. I'm so happy you're here, Metla. It's reading time. So that was Volume 1, on to Volume 2, Biography of Barenziah. Oh, hang on. Okay. Is it the same book as in Oblivion, or are there differences? I think it might be the same one as in Oblivion, but I'm not sure. I'm reading them all anyway. I've decided to make it my, for some reason, to collect them all. I've got to get them all like Pokemon. All the books. In all the games. Only the vanilla books, I would say. Because I have some mods, which probably have extra books in this game. So I won't be trying for all the extra books. But try to get all the vanilla books and all the ones in Oblivion, because I don't have any mods on that. So I could just try for all the books there. But my gosh, if I tried for all with the mods that I have, that would probably be way too many, I imagine. Alright. Volume 2. Biography of Barenziah. Oh. Biography of Queen Barenziah, Volume 2. By Stern Gamboj, Imperial Scribe. The first volume of this series told the story of Barenziah's origin. Heiress to the throne of Mournhold until her father's Heiress to the throne of Mournhold until her father rebelled against His Excellency Tiber Septim I and brought ruin to the province of Morrowind. Thanks largely to the benevolence of the Emperor, the child Barenziah was not destroyed with her parents, but reared by Count Sven of Darkmoor, a loyal Imperial trustee. She grew up into a beautiful and pious child, trustful of her guardian's care. This trust, however, was exploited by a wicked orphan stable boy at Count Sven's estate, who, with lies and fabrications, tricked her into fleeing Darkmoor with him when she turned. After many adventures on the road, they settled in Riften, a Skyrim city near the Morrowind borders. The stable boy, Straw, was not altogether evil. He loved Barenziah in his own selfish fashion, and deception was the only way he could think of that would cement possession of her. She, of course, felt only friendship toward him, but he was hopeful that she would gradually change her mind. He wanted to buy a small farm and settle down into a comfortable marriage, but at the time his earnings were barely enough to feed and shelter them. After only a short time in Riften, Straw fell in with a bold, villainous Khajiit named Theris, who proposed that they rob the Imperial Commandant's house in the central part of the city. Theris said that he had a client, a traitor to the Empire, who would pay well for any information they could gather there. Barenziah happened to overhear this plan and was appalled. She stole away from their rooms and walked the streets of Riften in desperation, torn between her loyalty to the Empire and her love for her friends. In the end, the loyalty to the Empire prevailed over personal friendship, and she approached the Commandant's house, revealed her true identity, and warned him of her friend's plan. The Commandant listened to her tale, praised her courage, and assured her that no harm would come to her. He was none other than General Symmachus, who had been scouring the countryside in search of her since her disappearance, and had just arrived in Riften, hot in pursuit. He took her into his custody and informed her that, far from being sent away to be sold, she was to be reinstated as the Queen of Mournhold as soon as she turned 18. Until that time, she was to live with the Septim family in the newly built Imperial city, where she would learn something of government and be presented at the Imperial. At the Imperial city, Barenziah befriended Emperor Tiber Septim during the middle years. Tiber's children, particularly his eldest son and heir Pelagius, came to love her as a sister. The ballads of the day praised her beauty, chastity, wit, and learning. On her 18th birthday, the entire Imperial city turned out to watch her farewell procession preliminary to her return to her native land. Sorrowful as they were at her departure, all knew that she was ready for her glorious destiny as sovereign of the kingdom of Mournhold. Very nice. Hey Blue! Hello! Blue and Metla, everyone's coming in to listen to books today. So I'm finishing up the biography of Barenziah right now, then I'm gonna go read the history of the Empire over there. And then I think I've got to check out what's upstairs. So, Biography of Queen Barenziah, Volume 3, by Stern Gamboj, Imperial Scribe. In the second volume of this series, it was told how Barenziah was kindly welcomed to the newly constructed Imperial city by Emperor Tiber Septim and his family, who treated her like a long-lost daughter during her almost one-year stay. After several happy months there, learning her duties as vassal queen under the Empire, the Imperial General Symmachus escorted her to Mournhold, where she took up her duties as queen of her people under his wise guidance. Gradually, they came to love one another and were married and crowned in a splendid ceremony at which the emperor himself officiated. After several hundred years of marriage, a son, Helseth, was born to the royal couple amid celebration and joyous prayer. Although it was not publicly known at the time, it was shortly before this blessed event that the Staff of Chaos had been stolen from its hiding place deep in the Mournhold mines by a clever, enigmatic bard known only as the Nightingale. Hey, Captain, welcome in! I'm happy you're here. We're reading our way through the bookstore right now. and then it's off to check out the Balmora gig economy. How are you doing, Captain? And Blue, how are you? 8 years after Helseth's birth, Barenziah bore a daughter, Morgaya, named after Symmachus' mother, and the royal couple's joy seemed complete. Alas, shortly after that, relations with the Empire mysteriously deteriorated, leading to much civil unrest in Mournhold. After fruitless investigations and attempts at reconciliation, in despair, Barenziah took her young children and traveled to the imperial city herself to seek the ear of then Emperor Uriel Septim VII. Symmachus remained in Mournhold to deal with the grumbling peasants and annoyed nobility, and do what he could to stave off an impending insurrection. You're good, Blue? Oh, I'm glad to hear it. Glad to hear it. I always had to pause here and be like, yes, this is the Emperor right now. The same Emperor. And the same one as in Oblivion. Uriel Septim VII. Well, at the very beginning of Oblivion. During her audience with the Emperor, Barenziah, through her magical arts, came to realize, to her horror and dismay, that the so-called Emperor was an impostor, none other than the bard Nightingale who had stolen the Staff of Chaos. Exercising great self-control, she concealed this realization from him. That evening, news came that Symmachus had fallen in battle with the revolting peasants of Mournhold, and that the kingdom had been taken over by the rebels. Barenziah, at this point, did not know where to seek help, or from whom. The gods, that fateful night, were evidently looking out for her, as if in redress of her loss. King Eadwire of High Rock, an old friend of Uriel Septim and Symmachus, came by on a social call. He comforted her, pledged his friendship, and furthermore confirmed her suspicions that the Emperor was indeed a fraud, and none other than Yegar Tharn, the Imperial battle mage, and one of the Nightingale's many alter egos. Tharn had supposedly retired into seclusion from public work and installed his assistant, Rhea Silmain, in his stead. The hapless assistant was later put to death under mysterious circumstances. Supposedly, a plot implicating her had been uncovered, and she had been summarily executed. However, her ghost had appeared to Eadwire in a dream and revealed to him that the true Emperor had been kidnapped by Tharn and imprisoned in an alternate dimension. Tharn had then used the Staff of Chaos to kill her when she attempted to warn the Elder Council of his nefarious plot. Together, Eadwire and Barenziah plotted to gain the false Emperor's confidence. Meanwhile, another friend of Rhea's, known only as the Champion, who apparently possessed great, albeit then untapped potential, was incarcerated at the Imperial dungeons. However, she had access to her dreams, and she told her to bide her time until she could devise a plan that would effect her escape. Then, she could begin her mission to unmask the imposter. And by the way, I'm changing the pronouns there because this is reference to Arena, which I'm going to play at some point, and I believe you can be a woman. And I always play as a woman if I can. So that's why. I'm not changing history, the book did. Barenziah continued to charm and eventually befriended the ersatz Emperor. By contriving to read his secret diary, she learned that he had broken the Staff of Chaos into 8 pieces and hidden them in far-flung locations scattered across Tamriel. She managed to obtain a copy of the key to Rhea's friend's cell and bribed a guard to leave it there, as if by accident. Their champion, whose name was unknown even to Barenziah and Eadwire, made her escape through a shift gate Rhea had opened in an obscure corner of the Imperial dungeons, using her already failing powers. The champion was free at last, and almost immediately went to work. It took Barenziah several more months to learn the hiding places of all 8 staff pieces through snatches of overheard conversation and rare glances at Tharn's diary. Once she had the vital information, however, which she communicated to Rhea forthwith, who in turn passed it on to the champion, she and Eadwire lost no time. They fled to Wayrest, his ancestral kingdom in the province of High Rock, where they managed to fend off the sporadic efforts of Tharn's henchmen to haul them back to the Imperial city, or at the very least, obtain revenge. Tharn, whatever else might be said of him, was no one's fool, save perhaps Barenziah's, and he concentrated most of his efforts toward tracking down and destroying the champion. As all now know, the courageous, indefatigable, and forever nameless champion was successful in reuniting the 8 sundered pieces of the Staff of Chaos. With it, she destroyed Tharn and rescued the true emperor, Uriel Septim VII. Following what has come to be known as the Restoration, a grand state memorial service was held for Symmachus at the Imperial city, befitting the man who had served the Septim dynasty for so long and so well. Barenziah and good King Eadwire had come to care deeply for one another during their trials and adventures, and were married in the same year, shortly after their flight from the Imperial city. Her 2 children from her previous marriage with Symmachus remained with her, and a regent was appointed to rule Mournhold in her absence. Up to the present time, Queen Barenziah has been in Wayrest with Prince Healthseth and Princess Morgaya. She plans to return to Mournhold after Eadwire's death. Since he was already elderly when they wed, she knows that the event, alas, cannot be far off as the elves reckon time. Until then, she shares in the government of the Kingdom of Wayrest with her husband, and seems glad and content with her finally quiet and happily unremarkable life. Hey Matomic, welcome in, welcome in! And another damn peasant, welcome, hey! Blue, you got a watch streak, 15 streams! Wow! That's awesome, thank you! Getting caught up here on the chat. How are you doing, Matomic? I am doing good. I am doing good. You know, now that we have a couple people here, you know what I should do? Oh, I gotta put this in first. Keep forgetting. I have to record the books that I read, at least the titles. There we go. But you know what I should do, now that there's actually a couple people here, is I should do my little shout out thing. Blue, you said you were working on new clips, right?
Here is Azu's video that he wants me to see without my glasses on again. So, let's see. I think that's a 74. I don't know. I don't even know how long this video is. Hang on.
I think it's a 74.
Oh, cool. It's like 90 seconds. Great. Let's go. So I think this is 74. It's at...
Oh, that's good. That's good. Oh, that's great. That's great. I enjoyed that a lot. Well, let's make sure I didn't put a typo here. Matomic Entertainment.
Right. Finally. Yeah, we went to war right there. I knew that Wicca version was gonna do it, but I'm surprised it still took that much. Like, dude, a master vampire? That's nothing to freaking mess with, bro.
We heading out? Let's
I
get
should
going.
mute my game music before I play these clips.
And I couldn't use him, man, because he wouldn't have survived. That guy's just way too strong.
Wow.
Would have sucked him freaking dry.
Would you look at that?
Yeah, I didn't even look around, really. He brought this one back to life, too. Like, that just blows my mind, bro. I know what this place is.
I've got your back.
Nice clip. Nice clip. Where was that at? With the that was Skyrim, right? Was that who was that a statue of? I love the statues and stuff. I didn't see where the master volume was at originally. I'm gonna guess it was 100. I have to remember to do that. I didn't miss anyone, did I? Oh, Capson! Capson's here too. Let me also give Capson a shout out now that we got a few people here. Because it's only any fun if somebody gets to see the actual clips, right? You're the only one who doesn't stream.
Just call me bitch back. It works.
No, you.
That's how it's done.
That's how we do.
That was cool and moved way faster than I would be able to keep up with. I'm like, hide. Skyrim was your first vampire. Ah, I got the clipping idea from Azu's streams. From Azu. I love it. I love seeing the clips. So, alright. We were gonna read more. I think that was everyone. If you stream and I missed you, let me know. I love watching clips. I think next was gonna be the history of the Empire. We were gonna read a brief history of the Empire and not buy it. You fine with that? She's cool. She's cool. Alright, A Brief History of the Empire, Part 1, by Stronach Cathoj III, Imperial Historian. Before the rule of Tiber Septim, all of Tamriel was in chaos. The poet Tracises, is that what I want to call him? Tracises? The poet Tracises called the period of continuous unrest days and nights of blood and venom. The kings were a petty lot of grasping tyrants who fought Tiber's attempts to bring order to the land, but they were as disorganized as they were dissolute, and the strong hand of Septim brought peace forcibly to Tamriel. The year was Second Era 896. The following year, the emperor declared the beginning of a new era. Thus began the Third Era, year Aught. For 38 years, Emperor Tiber reigned supreme. It was a lawful, pious, and glorious age, when justice was known to one and all, from serf to sovereign. On Tiber's death, it reigned for an entire fortnight, as if the land of Tamriel itself was weeping. The emperor's grandson, Pelagius, came to the throne. Though his reign was short, he was as strong and resolute as his father had been, and Tamriel could have enjoyed a continuation of the goal. Alas, an unknown enemy of the Septim family hired that accursed organization of cutthroats, the Dark Brotherhood, to kill Emperor Pelagius I as he knelt at prayer at the temple of the One in the Imperial city. Pelagius I's reign lasted less than 3 years. Pelagius had no living children, so the crown imperial passed to his first cousin, the daughter of Tiber's brother Agnereth. Kintira, former queen of Silvanar, assumed the throne as Kintira I. Her reign was blessed with prosperity and good harvests, and she herself was an avid patroness of art, music, and dance. Kintira's son was crowned after her death, the first emperor of Tamriel to use the imperial name Uriel. Uriel I was the great lawmaker of the Septim dynasty and a promoter of independent organizations and guilds. Under his kind but firm hand, the Fighters' Guild and the Mages' Guild increased in prominence throughout Tamriel. His son and successor, Uriel II, reigned for 18 years, from the death of Uriel I in Third Era 64 to Pelagius II's ascension in Third Era 82. Tragically, the rule of Uriel II was cursed with blights, plagues, and insurrections. The tenderness he inherited from his father did not serve Tamriel well, and little justice was done. Pelagius II inherited not only the throne from his father, but the debt from the latter's poor financial and judicial management. Pelagius dismissed all of the elder council and allowed only those willing to pay great sums to resume their seats. He encouraged similar acts among his vassals, the kings of Tamriel, and by the end of his 17-year reign, Tamriel had returned to prosperity. His critics, however, have suggested that any advisor possessed of wisdom but not of gold had been summarily ousted by Pelagius. This may have led to some of the troubles his son Antiochus faced when he in turn became emperor. Hey Azu, welcome in. Oh, I'm a possum. I'm a possum. Yay, I love being a possum. Thank you. Give you a shout out, Azu. And show off the new little clip thing.
Dude! Bro! What the fuck? That thing is trolling me. The stupid thing rolled to the right and then to the left. Like, what the fuck? This game hates me, man.
Sorry if the clips
I swear to
are
God.
loud.
Oh! Bro! Can't you stay put? Not the babies.
That was funny. Alright. I gotta remember to turn my sound down. Okay. Where was that? I was somewhere in this book. Oh, thanks for coming by, Azu. I always love having you here. Was having fun hanging out in your stream earlier this morning. I was just watching it like I have no idea what's going on, but it's pretty. And the music was great on that one battle. What, that boss battle you were fighting? I don't know who with. So Morrowind is going well. I'm still in the bookstore. We're reading our way through the history of Tamriel right now. What page was I on? I think I was somewhere around here, right? Yeah. Little justice was done. He inherited this. And yeah, I was actually right here. Perfect. I went right where I was at. The game's music is so good. It is. I just sit around and bob around and enjoy the music. Yeah, it's gonna be a reading stream until I got all the books read in the bookstore. And then off to try to find out what else I can do in Balmora to earn money. And try not to help out the Empire. So back to reading. Let's see. This is mostly being a history of the Empire. It's mostly just a very long genealogy. Antiochus was certainly one of the more flamboyant members of the usually austere Septim family. He had numerous mistresses and nearly as many wives, and was renowned for the grandeur of his dress and his high good humor. Unfortunately, his reign was rife with civil war, surpassing even that of his grandfather, Uriel II. The War of the Isle in 3rd Era 110, 12 years after Antiochus assumed the throne, nearly took the province of Somerset Isle away from Tamriel. The united alliance of the kings of Somerset and Antiochus only managed to defeat King Orgum of the island kingdom of... Let me try that again. The united alliance of the kings of Somerset and Antiochus only managed to defeat King Orgum of the island kingdom of Piandonea due to a freak storm. Legend credits the Sijic order of the Isle of Artaeum with the sorcery behind the tempest. The story of Kintira II, heiress to her father Antiochus's throne, is certainly one of the saddest tales in Imperial. Her first cousin, Uriel, son of Queen Potema of Solitude, accused Kintira of being a bastard, alluding to the infamous decadence of the imperial city during her father's reign. When this accusation failed to stop her coronation, Uriel bought the support of several disgruntled kings of High Rock, Skyrim, and Morrowind, and with Queen Potema's assistance, he coordinated 3 attacks on the Septim Empire. The first attack occurred in the Iliac Bay region, which separates High Rock and Hammerfell. Kintira's entourage was massacred and the Empress was taken captive. For 2 years, Kintira II languished in an imperial prison believed to be somewhere in Glenpoint or Glenmoral before she was slain in her cell under mysterious circumstances. The second attack was on a series of imperial garrisons along the coastal Morrowind Islands. The Empress's consort, Contin Arynx, fell defending the forts. The third and final attack was a siege of the imperial city itself, occurring after the Elder Council had split up the army to attack western High Rock and eastern Morrowind. The weakened government had little defense against Uriel's determined aggression and capitulated after only a fortnight of resistance. Uriel took the throne that same evening and proclaimed himself Uriel III, Emperor of Tamriel. The year was Third Era 121. Thus began the War of the Red Diamond, described in Volume 2 of this series. There we go. I guess we get a war next time. 3 of the Empire, Volume 1. I'm gonna drink a little more before I move on to Volume 2. I know I played this game and I gave you guys like the ability to make me swing my weapon and stuff, and I'm just staring at books. You get to do it later. A Brief History of the Empire, Part 2, by Stranok Cathoj III, Imperial Historian. Volume 1 of this series described, in brief, the lives of the first 8 emperors of the Septim dynasty, beginning with the glorious Tiber Septim and ending with his great-great-great-great-grandniece, Kintira II. Kintira's murder in Glenpoint while in captivity is considered by some to be the end of the pure strain of Septim blood in the Imperial family. Certainly it marks the end of something significant. Hey Ripmarge, welcome in! Twitch really doesn't understand its users with the vertical mode. Is there something you would like with the vertical? Because I'm streaming, if you're talking about vertical mode like on your phone, I have my vertical mode set up. So if there is something you like about, or you dislike about it, or you think should be changed, let me know, because I never watched that way, so I really don't know how to optimize it, if that makes sense. So if you are watching in vertical mode and you think I could optimize it somehow, and this goes out to anyone who watches vertical mode, do let me know, because I'm just not super clued in with how that should look, or work, or feel. Like there's 2 on your phone. Yeah, there's the bottom screen and the top screen. The purpose of that is so that when I'm out walking around, you can see up close whatever's in the middle of the screen. It's probably much more annoying when I'm reading. Maybe I could set it up to switch what it's viewing when I'm reading. That's a thought, because when I'm reading, I'm looking at it's probably not ideal how it's set up for reading. And I do read a lot. So that's a good thought. I have little hotkeys that trigger a quote-unquote reading mode in my streamer bot, so I might be able to do something with that would with like no extra work from me, make it look nicer for you while I'm reading and you're on vertical. That's might be something I can do. I will definitely look into that. Making the whole home screen on mobile. I don't know what the home screen looks like on mobile or anything. I literally have never used Twitch on mobile. So, yeah, if you're using it on mobile and something about the way I have it set up doesn't work, just let me know, because I literally don't know how to optimize for that because I don't use it. And I kind of just optimize for what I like on the computer, which is probably not what everyone likes. Modern app design, yeah. Well, I'll take a look at the design while I'm reading, because, yeah, maybe it would be nice if it could, like, you could see the page better on the big shot. However I say that. Saying it all wrong. Alright, anyway. Back to reading. We were at... Where was I at? The end of something significant. Uriel III not only proclaimed himself Emperor of Tamriel, but also Uriel Septim III, taking the eminent surname as a title. In truth, his surname was Montiarco, from his father's line. In time, Uriel III was deposed and his crimes reviled, but the tradition of taking the name of Septim as the title for the Emperor of Tamriel did not die with him. For 6 years, the War of the Red Diamond, which takes its name from the Septim family's famous badge, tore the empire apart. The combatants were the 3 surviving children of Pelagius II, Pitama, Sepphoris, and Magnus, and their various offspring. Pitama, of course, supported her son Uriel III and had the combined support of all of Skyrim and northern Morrowind. With the efforts of Sepphoris and Magnus, however, the province of High Rock turned coat. The provinces of Hammerfell, Somerset Isle, Valenwood, Elsewhere, and Blackmarsh were divided in their loyalty. But most kings supported Sepphoris and Magnus. Your local library better have this book. Yeah, see if they have a brief history of the Empire. There's probably a way to make it interesting. It's just pointless features. I'm rereading that. In 3rd Era 127, Uriel III was captured at the Battle of Ichidog in Hammerfell. En route to his trial in the Imperial city, a mob overtook his prisoner's carriage and burned him alive within it. His captor and uncle continued on to the Imperial city and by common acclaim was proclaimed Sepphoris I, Emperor of Tamriel. Sepphoris' reign was marked by nothing but war. By all accounts, he was a kind and intelligent man, but what Tamriel needed was a great warrior, and he, fortunately, was that. It took an additional 10 years of constant warfare for him to defeat his sister Pitama, the so-called Wolf Queen of Solitude, who died in the siege of her city-state in the year 137. Sepphoris survived his sister by only 3 years. He never had time during the war years to marry, so it was his brother, the 4th child of Pelagius II, who assumed the throne. Emperor Magnus was already elderly when he took up the imperial diadem, and the business of punishing the traitorous kings of the War of the Red Diamond drained much of his remaining strength. Legend accuses Magnus's son and heir, Pelagius III, of patricide, but that seems highly unlikely, for no other reason than that Pelagius was king of Solitude following the death of Pitama and seldom visited the imperial city. Pelagius III, sometimes called Pelagius the Mad, was proclaimed emperor in the 145th year of the 3rd Era. Almost from the start, his eccentricities of behavior were noted at court. He embarrassed dignitaries, offended his vassal kings, and on one occasion marked the end of an imperial grand ball by attempting to hang himself. His long-suffering wife was finally rewarded the regency of Tamriel, and Pelagius III was sent to a series of healing institutions and asylums until his death in 3rd Era 153 at the age of 34. The Empress Regent of Tamriel was proclaimed Empress Galerion I upon the death of her husband. Some, who do not mark the end of the Septim bloodline with the death of Kintira II, consider the ascendancy of this dark elf woman the true mark of its decline. Her defenders, on the other hand, assert that though Galerion was not descended from Tiber, the son she had with Pelagius was, so the imperial chain did continue. Despite racist assertions to the contrary, Galerion's 46-year reign was one of the most celebrated in Tamriel's history. Uncomfortable in the imperial city, Galerion traveled extensively throughout the empire, such as no emperor ever had since Tiber's day. She repaired much of the damage that the previous emperor's broken alliances and bungled diplomacy created. The people of Tamriel came to love their empress far more than the nobility did. Galerion's death in a minor skirmish in Blackmarsh is a favorite subject of conspiracy. The sage Montelius's discovery, for instance, of a disenfranchised branch of the Septim family, and their involvement with the skirmish, was a revelation indeed. When Cassander assumed the throne upon the death of his mother, he was already middle-aged. Only half-elven, he aged like a Breton. In fact, he had left the rule of Wayrest to his half-brother Uriel due to poor health. Nevertheless, as the only true blood relation of Pelagius and thus Tiber, he was pressed into accepting the throne. To no one's surprise, Emperor Cassinder's reign did not last long. In 2 years, he joined his predecessors in eternity. Uriel Lariat, Cassinder's half-brother, and the child of Catariah I and her imperial consort Galavir Lariat, after the death of Pelagius III, left the kingdom of Wayrest to reign as Uriel IV. Legally, Uriel IV was a septim. Cassinder had adopted him into the royal family when he had become king of Wayrest. Nevertheless, to the council and the people of Tamriel, he was a bastard child of Catariah. Uriel did not possess the dynamism of his mother, and his long 43-year reign was a hotbed of sedition. Uriel IV's story is told in the 3rd volume of this series. Ooh, that sounds like it'll be fun. Brief History of the Empire, Volume 2. Okay. Hey, Jazz! Welcome in. Glad to have you here, even if it's just for a few minutes. I'm always happy to see you. Are you getting ready? I still can't talk, even when I'm not reading. Are you getting ready to stream? Glad to hear it. Oh, I gotta drink a little water before I read more. Yeah, in a few hours you're gonna nap. Oh, love a nap. Love a nap. Right now, reading my way through this bookstore. Always love finding a bookstore in an Elder Scrolls game. Apparently, that's my new favorite thing. Wait. You know what I gotta do? Before I do that. Hang on. And before you go anywhere, Jest. Let me mute that. I gotta make that be, like, part of my command. Jest to the sky. There we go. Give you a little shout out. And
in that case, let me show you a little of what I can really do. Huh? Yeah. Yeah, that was very random. I'll show what I can really do. I am a photo model.
Trails in the Sky. That's the name of the game, huh? That looks funny. He just threw the thing. Another damn peasant. Naps make you feel yuck? Oh, I hate it when a nap makes you feel yuck. Usually I feel better after a nap, but sometimes you wake up and you're like, I just want to keep sleeping. And then I usually do just keep sleeping. I love sleep so much. Sleep is great. Alright, I was reading volume 3. I don't think I even really got started on it, did I? Yeah, I think I was just here. And Uriel no, I hadn't started at all. I hadn't started any of it. Okay. A Brief History of the Empire, Part 3, by Stranok Cathoj III, Imperial Historian. The first volume of this series told, in brief, the story of the succession of the first 8 emperors of the Septim dynasty from Tiber I to Kintira II. The second volume described the War of the Red Diamond and the 6 emperors that followed its aftermath, from Uriel III to Cassinder I. At the end of that volume, it was described how Emperor Cassinder's half-brother, Uriel IV, assumed the throne of the Empire of Tamriel. The Trails games also have a bunch of books to read. That might put them on my list. I might just have to read games on this chat. Read games? Yeah. We'll just leave that. We'll leave that there. Read games. I might just have to read games on this channel. Let's just put it that way. You have eaten some French fish soup. I don't know if that sounds good or not. If you like it, I guess it sounds good. I'm not big on fish, personally. But French fish soup, maybe it's especially good if it's French. French food is supposed to be good, yes? Or is it just that the fish is French? So it says bonjour before it goes into the pot. You love it. That's good. All right. Well, you have a good nap. And if you stream later, I hope you have a good stream. Great rest of your day. Thank you for stopping by. Always happy to see you, Jazz. It will be recalled that Uriel IV was not a septim by birth. His mother, though she reigned as empress for many years, was a dark elf married to a true septim emperor, Pelagius III. Uriel's father was actually Galerion I's consort after Pelagius's death, a Breton nobleman named Galerion Lariat. Before taking the throne of empire, Cassinder I had ruled the kingdom of Wayrest, but poor health had forced him to retire. Cassinder had no children, so he legally adopted his half-brother Uriel and abdicated the kingdom. 7 years later, Cassinder inherited the empire at the death of his mother. 3 years after that, Uriel once again found himself the recipient of Cassinder's inheritance. Uriel IV's reign was a long and difficult one. Despite being a legally adopted member of the Septim family, and despite the Lariat family's high position, indeed they were distant cousins of the Septims, few of the Elder Council could be persuaded to accept him fully as a blood descendant of Tiber. The council had assumed much responsibility during Galerion I's long reign and Cassinder I's short one, and a strong-willed alien monarch like Uriel IV found it impossible to command their unswerving fealty. Time and again, the council and emperor were at odds, and time and again, the council won the battles. Since the days of Pelagius II, the Elder Council had consisted of the wealthiest men and women in the empire, and the power they wielded was the council's last victory over Uriel IV was posthumous. Andorak, Uriel IV's son, was disinherited by vote of the council, and a cousin more closely related to the original septim line was proclaimed Sepphoris II in 3rd Era 268. For the first 9 years of Sepphoris II's reign, those loyal to Andorak battled the Imperial forces. In an act that the sage Eraintine, I'm gonna settle on that. In an act that the sage Eraintine called Tiber Septim's heart beating no more, the council granted Andorak the High Rock Kingdom of Shornhelm to end the war, and Andorak's descendants still rule there. By and large, Sepphoris II had foes that demanded more of his attention than Andorak. From out of a Cimmerian nightmare, in the words of Eraintine, what did I say? In the words of Eraintine, a man who called himself the Comoran Usurper led an army of Daedra and undead warriors on a rampage through Valenwood, conquering kingdom after kingdom. Few could resist his onslaughts, and as a month turned to bloody month in the year 3rd Era 249, even fewer tried. Sepphoris II sent more and more mercenaries into Hammerfell to stop the usurper's northward march, but they were bribed or slaughtered and raised as undead. The story of the Comoran usurper deserves a book of its own. It is recommended that the reader find Pollock's Ilthrae's The Fall of the Usurper for more detail. In short, however, the destruction of the forces of the usurper had little to do with the efforts of the emperor. The result was a great regional victory and an increase in hostility toward the seemingly efficacious empire. Uriel V, Sepphoris II's son and successor, swiveled opinion back toward the latent power of the empire. Turning the attention of Tamriel away from the internal strife, Uriel V embarked on a series of invasions beginning almost from the moment he took the throne in 3rd Era 268. Uriel V conquered Roscrea in 271, Cathnocae in 276, Enoslea in 279, and Asroniet in 284. In 3rd Era 288, he embarked on his most ambitious enterprise, the invasion of the continent kingdom of Akavir. This ultimately proved a failure, for 2 years later, Uriel V was killed in Akavir on the battlefield of Ionith. Nevertheless, Uriel V holds a reputation second only to Tiber as one of the 2 great warrior emperors of Tamriel. The last 4 emperors, beginning with Uriel V's infant son, are described in the 4th and final volume of this. Alright. 4th and final volume. A Brief History of the Empire, Part 4, by Stranach Cathode III, Imperial Historian. The first book of this series described, in brief, the first 8 emperors of the Septim dynasty, beginning with Tiber I. The second volume described the War of the Red Diamond and the 6 emperors who followed. The third volume described the troubles of the next 3 emperors, the frustrated Uriel IV, the ineffectual Sepphoris II, and the heroic Uriel V. On Uriel V's death across the sea in distant, hostile Akavir, Uriel VI was but 5 years old. In fact, Uriel VI was born only shortly before his father left for Akavir. Uriel V's only other progeny, by a morganatic? I'm not sure of that word, but I'll go with it. By a morganatic alliance were the twins Morihatha and Eloisa, who had been born a month after Uriel V left. Uriel VI was crowned in the 290th year of the Third Era. The imperial consort Thonica, as the boy's mother, was given a restricted regency until Uriel VI reached his majority. The Elder Council retained the real power, as they had ever since the days of Galerion I. The council so enjoyed its unlimited and unrestricted freedom to promulgate laws and generate profits that Uriel VI was not given full license to rule until 307, when he was already 22 years old. He had been slowly assuming positions of responsibility for years, but both the council and his mother, who enjoyed even her limited regency, were loath to hand over the reins. By the time he came to the throne, the mechanisms of government gave him little power except for that of the imperial veto. This power, however, he regularly and vigorously exercised. By 313, Uriel VI could boast with conviction that he truly did rule Tamriel. He utilized defunct spy networks and guard units to bully and coerce the difficult members of the Elder Council. His half-sister Morihatha was, not surprisingly, his staunchest ally, especially after her marriage to Baron Ulfgerson of Winterhold brought her considerable wealth and influence. As the sage Ugaridge said, Uriel V conquered Ezrionet, but Uriel VI conquered the Elder Council. When Uriel VI fell off a horse and could not be resuscitated by the finest imperial healers, his beloved sister Morihatha took up the imperial tiara. At 25 years of age, she had been described by admittedly self-serving diplomats as the most beautiful creature in all of Tamriel. She was certainly well-learned, vivacious, athletic, and a well-practiced politician. She brought the Archmagister of Skyrim to the imperial city and created the second imperial battle mage since the days of Tiber Septim. Morihatha finished the job her brother had begun and made the imperial province a true government under the Empress and later the Emperor. Outside the imperial province, however, the empire had been slowly disintegrating. Open revolutions and civil wars had raged unchallenged since the days of her grandfather Sepphoris II. Carefully coordinating her counterattacks, Morihatha slowly claimed back her rebellious vassals, always avoiding overextending herself. Though Morihatha's military campaigns were remarkably successful, her deliberate pace often frustrated the council. One councilman, an Argonian who took the Colovian name of Thorocles Romus, furious at her refusal to send troops to his troubled Black Marsh, is commonly believed to have hired the assassins who claimed her life in Third Era 339. Romus was summarily tried and executed, though he protested his innocence to the last. Morihatha had no surviving children, and Eloisa had died of a fever 4 years before. Eloisa's 25-year-old son Pelagius was thus crowned Pelagius IV. Pelagius IV continued his aunt's work, slowly bringing back under his wing the radical and refractory kingdoms, duchies, and baronies of the empire. Sorry, there's a dog barking. I don't know if my mic picked it up or not. Alright, he's going to go bark in the backyard, so I don't have to worry about it. Alright. Slowly bringing back under his wing the radical and refractory kingdoms, duchies, and baronies of the empire. He exercised Morihatha's poise and circumspect pace in his endeavors, but alas, he did not attain her success. The kingdoms had been free of constraint for so long that even a benign imperial presence was considered odious. Nevertheless, when Pelagius died after an astonishing 49-year reign, Tamriel was closer to unity than it had been since the days of Uriel I. Our current emperor, His Awesome and Terrible Majesty Uriel Septim VII, son of Pelagius IV, has the diligence of his great-aunt Morihatha, the political skill of his great-uncle Uriel VI, and the military prowess of his great-granduncle Uriel V. For 21 years he reigned and brought justice and order to Tamriel. In the year Third Era 389, however, his imperial battle mage, Yegar Tharn, betrayed him. Uriel VII was imprisoned in a dimension of Tharn's creation, and Tharn used his sorcery of illusion to assume the Emperor's aspect. For the next 10 years, Tharn abused imperial privilege but did not continue Uriel VII's schedule of reconquest. It is not yet entirely known what Tharn's goals and personal accomplishments were during the 10 years he masqueraded as Liege Lord. In Third Era 399, an enigmatic champion defeated the battle mage in the dungeons of the Imperial Palace and freed Uriel VII from his other dimensional jail. Since his emancipation, Uriel Septim VII has worked diligently to renew the battle that would reunite Tamriel. Tharn's interference broke the momentum, it is true, but the years since then have proven that there is hope of the golden age of Tiber Septim's rule, glorifying Tamriel once again. Brief History of the Empire, Volume 4. I've read Aedra and Daedra. I've read The Ruins of Kemelsay. I'm not 100% sure if I've read Galerion the Mystic. Let me check that, actually. I have not. I've not read Galerion the Mystic. So, Galerion the Mystic. Galerion the Mystic by Osgrim Kolsgreg. I need some water first. One sec. During the early bloody years of the Second Era, Venus Galerion was born under the name Trectus, a serf on the estate of a minor nobleman, Lord Gyrnas of Solikich on Care. Trectus's father and mother were common laborers, but his father had secretly, against the law of Lord Gyrnas, taught himself and then Trectus to. Lord Gyrnas had been advised that literate serfs were an abomination of nature and dangerous to themselves and their lords, and had closed all bookstalls within Solikich on Care. All booksellers, poets, and teachers were forbidden, except within Gyrnas's keep. Nevertheless, a small-scale smuggling operation kept a number of books and scrolls in circulation, right under Gyrnas's shadow. When Trectus was 8, the smugglers were found and imprisoned. Some said that Trectus's mother, an ignorant and religious woman fearful of her husband, was the betrayer of the smugglers. But there were other rumors as well. The trial of the smugglers was non-existent, and the punishment was swift. The body of Trectus's father was kept hanging for weeks during the hottest summer in Solikich on Care. The body of Trectus's father was kept hanging for weeks during the hottest summer Solikich on Care had seen in centuries. 3 months later, Trectus ran away from Lord Gyrnas's estate. He made it as far as Alinor, halfway across Somerset Isle. A band of troubadours found him, nearly dead, curled up in a ditch by the side of the road. They nursed him to health and employed him as an errand boy in return for food and shelter. One of the troubadours, a soothsayer named Heliand, began testing Trectus's mind and found the boy, though shy, to be preternaturally intelligent and sophisticated, given his circumstances. Heliand recognized in the boy a commonality, for Heliand had been trained on the Isle of Artaeum as a mystic. When the troupe was performing in the village of Potenza, in the far eastern end of Somerset, Heliand took Trectus, then a boy of 11, to the Isle of Artaeum. The magister of the isle, Yachisis, recognized potential in Trectus and took him on as a pupil, giving him the name of Venus Galerion. Venus trained his mind on the Isle of Artaeum, as well as his body. Thus was the first Archmagister of the Mages Guild trained. From the Sygics of the Isle of Artaeum he received his training. From his childhood of want and injustice he received his philosophy of sharing knowledge. Been a while since I read that one. Galerion The Mystic. Okay. So I've read all the books downstairs. Let's check out what they have upstairs. There's just one book. I've read that one as well. There's a wooden chest. There's a door to Balmora. Alright. I've read everything.
I don't have a lot of patience for questions, Outlander.
No, you don't? Okay. So I'm gonna update my stream information because now I'm looking for work in Balmora. Okay. Since I'm no longer reading a bunch of stuff in the bookstore. Let's see. Let me talk to you. Do you have anything? She says, I haven't seen you in Balmora before, have I? You have a question? Do you know any rumors? Balatus Demnevani has studied Dwemer ruins all over Vardenfell. I hear he's always looking for books on the Dwemer. Oh, okay. You would know about who's looking for books, wouldn't you? Did she just give an exasperated sigh? Yeah, no one's ever happy to see me. For some reason. For some reason. What if I say Outlander? What do you think about Outlanders? An Outlander... Oh, she's just going to give me a definition of what an Outlander is. An Outlander is anyone born and raised outside of Morrowind. Most Dunmer think anyone who isn't native-born Dunmer is an Outlander. Dunmer with Western words and ways are also immediately identified as Outlanders. We're very sensitive to accents, clothes, and manners in Morrowind. Outlanders are foreigners, and Morrowind doesn't like foreigners. It's not bad here in Halalu territory, but on the rest of Vardenfell, folk are very cool to Outlanders. Be patient and pleasant, and you'll do all right. Alright, what about you? Do you have a job for me? I'm looking for work, because I'm poor. You can tell by my clothes. They don't match, like yours do. I'm an officer of the Imperial law. Move along. Do you have any rumors? These Outlanders won't be happy until slavery is outlawed. Our plantations depend on slaves, mostly down south in Dres District, but here in the Ascadian Isles too. It's our right to have slaves by law and custom, and it's none of their damn business. If you want to talk business, speak with Nileno Dorvain. Hang on. Nileno Dorvain. Did it not open up the thing? Alright. I've got another little journal that I'm looking at. That was supposed to pop up, but it didn't. So he said Nileno Dorvain might have work. She also said something about somebody having wanting books, didn't she? She had a rumor about this guy. Let me write this down too. Baladas Demnevani wants books. Okay. Alright, that's good. Those aren't actual jobs, but they're leads. Hool told me about her ship. The magistrate is corrupt. Someone in Fort Moonmoth might be able to help. Caius Cosades. Nope, that's Emperor stuff. Alright, I got the shopping list. He said not to steal stuff, but I don't know if he'll know if I stole stuff. But I've got to get silverware forks, silverware knives, silverware spoons, redware cups. So I'm just going to look around for this stuff. Like, I don't think the goblets are what he wants. A cup? It says that they should be, like, good redware cups. I don't know if these are good. It just says cup. But I see gold. Gold is good. I'll take that. And I guess I'll take the cup and I'll see. I'll see if that's a good enough cup for Clagius Clanler. It probably says redware on it. But see, look, those look red, don't they? That looks red. Do I need any plates, though? Forks, knives, spoons, cups, vases, bowls, pots. No plates. I don't need plates. More money. More money. Exclusive restore strength. Thank you. These probably aren't the right ones. Oh, petty soul gem. Yes, please. Wait, there's a vase in there. Do I need vases? I need 5 redware vases. I don't know if that counts as redware or not. I'll probably find out that they don't. And then I'll just drop them on the ground. They look red to me, though. Okay. So the Mages Guild, I believe I read something where the Mages Guild will hire people to help them, like, guard them because they're squishy and they need less squishy people to guard them.
Make it
Like,
quick,
you don't have
Outlander.
to actually be smart and do magic. Can I help you somehow? Are you looking for me? You want to join the Mages Guild? What does it require to join? I was more looking to, like, be your guard. Yes, you look like the sort we could use in the Mages Guild. Will you take the Mage's Oath and join the guild? Well, what's the Mage's Oath? Perform any duties assigned to you by the masters of the guild. Learn from them and grow strong. Always share your knowledge freely with other guild members. Never strike or steal from another guild member. Does this appeal to you? Sure. You are now a member of the Mages Guild. Well, that was easy. Welcome, associate. When you are ready, you can ask for duties to perform, and once you are ready, you can ask me about advancement in the guild. Can you tell me more about advancement? You meet our requirements, Bashla Grottenker, but you have not yet completed the duties expected of an apprentice. Okay, what about the duties? I don't have any duties for an associate. Speak with me again when you have proven yourself. In the meantime, speak with Ajira. I believe she may have some small tasks for you. Okay. So what I got here? Requirements, persuasion. You know, I haven't tried any persuasion yet, and she likes me more than I think anyone has liked me so far at the start. Should I give persuasion a try? It's very low. Maybe I shouldn't. Maybe because that might make her like me less. What happens if I click spells? Service refusal. What's your rank, Bashla Grottenker? No, sorry. Later, perhaps, when you're higher rank, but not now. Okay, how about training? Service refusal. What's your rank? No. I'm not high enough. She can't help me until I get to be higher rank. I like your robe, though. It's cool. You got a cool robe. Am I stealing from this stuff since I'm part of the Mages Guild? Or am I allowed to get in here now? We're going to redeem a punch just as I left that conversation, just to cause chaos. But you refrained. Ah. That's alright. Ooh. There's someone invisible here. No, it's a shadow. I thought there was an invisible person walking by and I could just see the shimmer in the air, but it was just a shadow. I'm jumping at shadows. Citizen? No, I'm fellow orc. Fellow orc. Also...
While you can. You like a chump.
Whack! 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 Ah! You didn't refrain for very long, did you? The second she saw an orc that reminded her of her sister, she had to punch it? No, it's alright. You did see that I had just quick saved, I'm sure. See, it's an orc, and it's an orc mage. And it reminds Bashla of her sister. I didn't say that before you went crazy and punched her. Orc to orc. At least we got to see how long you'd last against mages, which is not long. That is correct. I'm still level 1, I believe. Here, yeah, I'm still level 1. So yeah, being ganged up on by the entire Mages Guild, I don't think I'm gonna last very long. I cannot think with all these interruptions. Please leave me alone. But you remind me of my sister. She likes me more than anyone. She likes me 51. Look how much she likes me. Have you heard any rumors? Ajira made a bet with Galbedier with Galbadir about who would get to the rank of journeyman first. I hope it doesn't end with more flame Atronachs in the guild library like last time. Tell me about the bet. It doesn't surprise me. What do you have for sale? What's she got? What's she got? She's got restore health, restore fatigues. I should remember that I have like restore health. Cure paralyzation. How are you supposed to take that if you're paralyzed? Yes, I am an orc in Morrowind who runs around and bashes things, and it's called Bashla. Bashla the orc who only reads books for her sister Bucha. I don't know that I want to spend gold though. Alright. She's not gonna have any duties for me. It's gotta be a Jira, so goodbye. And let's... How about you? Are you...
I suppose it is my duty to help.
Wow, burn. But also give me money. Hello, friend. Hello, friend. I'm Esther Dahlin. Welcome to Balmora. If you have a question, I'll be happy to answer it. Or try anyway. And if it's just a little advice you'd like, that's fine too. She was being mean for a minute, but of course once I actually talk to her, she's fine. Alright, give me a rumor. Everyone knows who really runs House Halalu. It's not the counselors. No one sits on that council unless it suits Orvis Dren. Alright, Orvis Dren really runs House Halalu. Got it. Spell making? What? I don't think I can make any spells yet, but... Spells. Bound boots, bound dagger, bound helm. Select a spell to buy. Okay. Earwig. Ew. Sound. 3 to 8 points for 5 seconds on target. Oh, so it makes it like... Huh. Feather. The only spell I'm really interested in, gonna be honest, is levitation. Me personally. What's fuddle? Fuddle, damage intelligence. That might be one she has. Her true self revealed at last. A flea bite or a frostbite. Alright. I think I will not do that. And she doesn't have any duties for me, but you know what I see over here? I see books. I see books. Hello, you're Moraine Dren. I'm new. What do you have to say to me? You're a new face. So what can I tell you about Balmora? I like to swap the latest rumors when there's something juicy enough to gossip about. Or maybe, if you have a little secret, maybe I have one to trade. Well, tell me some rumors. Dolnea Ralal, publican of the Eight Plates Corner Club here in Balmora, is hiring entertainers to amuse her patrons. She's looking for jesters, dancers, drummers, jugglers, and singers who play the lute. Ooh, okay. I think I've heard that before, but I didn't have it written down, so I'm going to write it down in my little thingy. Dolnea Ralal at the 8. Let me make that bold. 8 Plates Corner Club is hiring. Okay. Oh wait, he also mentioned a little secret. I might even be persuaded to gossip about a little secret. Interested in dwarven artifacts? Fine. Dwarven ruins are fascinating, and there's good loot. Just one suggestion. You find yourself over your head, back out, and go back to running errands and hunting rats for a while. Seriously, those centurions, spider centurions, spear centurions, steam centurions, they are far too dangerous for most adventurers. Okay, that sounded like advice more than a secret, but okay. Oh, you know something about the Nerevarine? I think I've read a little bit about that. The Ashlanders have a prophecy that one day a reincarnation of the legendary hero Nerevar will unite the Dunmer against the invaders and restore the ancient Dark Elven nation. But the Tribunal Temple says this is a false and profane superstition, and the Ordinators deal mercilessly with those who profess such belief. Interesting. Alright. Well, I am looking for someone, but also there are books here. Are you following me? No. We're just going to the same place. Wait, do they just sleep here? think it's open.
I
You think I can
suppose
get
it
in there?
is my duty to help those less fortunate than myself.
Oh, be quiet. We're both in the guild together.
Go ahead.
Where were you? Dragon broke. Fragment on Artaeum. Galerion the Mystic I read earlier, but those other two I have yet to read. And I don't think I read the Mage's Guild Charter here yet. So let's see. I'm going to have a little more water. And I think I'll read this Where Were You Dragon Broke. I have... the title calls to me. Alright. Where were you when the dragon broke? Oh, when the dragon broke. That's what the ... is. My brain put it together as like, where were you? And then someone being like, my dragon broke. I couldn't make it. Brain. Silly brain. Alright. Where were you when the dragon broke? Corax, Cyrodiil, Elder Council. No one understands what happened when the Selectives danced on that tower. It would be easy to dismiss the whole matter as nonsense were it not for the Amulet of Kings. Even the Elder Scrolls do not mention it. Let me correct myself. The Elder Scrolls cannot mention it. When the Moth Priests attune the scrolls to the timeless time, their glyphs always disappear. The Amulet of Kings, however, with its oversoul of emperors, can speak of it at length. According to Hestra, Cyrodiil became an empire across the stars. According to Shorel, Cyrodiil became an egg. Most say something in a language they can only speak sideways. The council has collected texts and accounts from all of its provinces, and they only offer stories that never coincide, save on one point. All the folk of Tamriel during the Middle Dawn, in whatever when they were caught in, tracked the fall of the 8 stars, and that is how they counted their days. Mera Nabisi, Dunmer, Triune Mistress of the New Temple. Accounts of the Middle Dawn are the province of the Empire of Men, and proof of the deceit that call themselves the Aedra. 8 stars fell on Tamriel, one for each iniquity that Lorcan made clear to the world. Veloth read these signs, and he told Boethiah, who confirmed them, and he told Mephala, who made wards against them, and he told Azura, who sent Almsivi to steer the true folk clear of harm. Even the 4 corners of the House of Troubles rose to protect the periphery of your madness. We watched our borders and saw them shift like snakes, and saw you run around in it like the spirits of old, devoid of math, without your if-thens, succumbing to the ever-now, like slaves of the slim folly, stasis. Do not ask us where we were when the dragon broke, for, of all the world, only we truly know, and we might just show you how to break it again. Hey, Lauren, where were you when the dragon broke? Where was I? I'm sure that I had nothing to do with it. Erlate Har Khajiit, tender to the main. Do you mean, where were the Khajiit when the dragon broke? Relate tells you where, recording it. 1,008 years you've heard it. You think the Syro-Nordics came up with all that on their own? You humans are better thieves than even Rajhin. As your lawyer, I suggest you don't answer that question. As my lawyer, why are you asking me then? While you were fighting wars with phantoms and giving birth to your own fathers, it was the main that watched the Jakajay because the moons were the only constant, and you didn't have the sugar to see it. We'll give you credit. You broke Alkosh something fierce, and that's not easy. Just don't think you solved what you accomplished by it, or can ever solve it. You did it again with Big Walker, not once but twice. Once at Rimmon, which we'll never learn to live with. The second time it was in Daggerfall, or was it Sentinel, or was it Wayrest, or was it in all 3 places at once? Get me, Cyrodiil? When will you wake up and realize what really happened to the dwarves? Manamarco, God of Worms, the Necromancers. The 3 thieves of Morrowind could tell you where they were. So could the High King of Alinor, who was the one who broke it in the first place. There are others on this earth that could too. Eastmere, Pelennor, Arnon the Fox, or should I say Arctis. The last dwarf would talk, if they would let him. As for myself, I was here and there and here again, like the rest of the mortals during the Dragon Break. How do you think I learned my mystery? The Marukadi selectives showed us all the glories of the dawn so that we might learn, simply, as above, so below. The dragon broke. Right. Fragment on Artaeum? Let's read it. It's just a fragment, right? On Artaeum, by Tors il Anselma. The Isle of Artaeum is the third largest island in the Somerset archipelago, located south of the Morrowind village of Potenza and west of the mainland village of Runcebe. It is best known for being home to the Sigic Order, perhaps the oldest monastic group in Tamriel. The earliest written record of Sigics is from the 20th year of the First Era, and tells the tale of the renowned Breton sage and author Vernet traveling to the Isle of Artaeum to meet with Yachisis, the Right Master of the Sigics. Even then, the Sigics were the counselors of kings and proponents of the Elder Way, taught to them by the original race that inhabited Tamriel. The Elder Way is a philosophy of meditation and study, said to bind the forces of nature to the individual will. It differs from magicka in origin, but the effects are much the same. That said, it is perhaps more than coincidence that the Isle of Artaeum literally vanished from the shores of Somerset at the beginning of the Second Era, at about the time of the founding of the Mages Guild in Tamriel. Various historians and scholars have published theories about this, but perhaps none but Yachisis and his own could shed light on the matter. 500 years passed and Artaeum returned. The Sigics on the isle consisted of persons, mostly elves, who had disappeared and were presumed dead in the Second Era. They could not or would not offer any explanation for Artaeum's whereabouts during that time, or the fate of Yachisis and the original Council of Artaeum. Currently, the Sigics are led by the lore master Celerus, who has presided over the Council of Artaeum for the last 250 years. The council's influence in Tamrielic politics is tidal. The kings of Somerset, particularly those of Morrowind, have often sought the Sigics' opinion. Even Uriel V was much influenced by the council in the early, most glorious parts of his reign, before his disastrous attack on Akavir. It has even been suggested that the fleet of King Orgum of Piandonea was destroyed by a joint effort of Emperor Antiochus and the Sigic Order. The last four emperors, Uriel VI, Morihatha, Pelagius IV, and Uriel VII, have been suspicious of the Sigics enough to refuse ambassadors from the Isle of Artaeum within the Imperial city. The Isle of Artaeum is difficult to chart geographically. It is said that it shifts continuously, either at random or by decree of the council. Visitors to the island are so rare as to be almost unheard of. Anyone desirous of meeting with a Sigic may find contacts in Potenza and Runcebe, as well as many of the kingdoms of Somerset. Were it more accessible, Artaeum would be a favored destination for travelers. I have been to the Isle once, and still dream of its idyllic orchards and clear pastures, its still and silent lagoons, its misty woodlands, and the unique Sigic architecture that seems to be as natural as its surroundings, as well as wondrous in its own right. The Sephora Tower, in particular, I would study, for it is a relic from a civilization that predates the High Elves by several hundred years, and is still used in certain rites by the Sigics. Perhaps one day I might return. Note: the author is currently on the Isle of Artaeum by gracious consent of Master Sargenius of the Council of Artaeum. Interesting. Alright, got you. Read that. I have not read the Mages Guild Charter yet. Imperial Charter of the Guild of Mages. 1. Purpose. The Guild of Mages provides benefits to scholars of magic and established laws regarding the proper use of magic. The Guild is dedicated to the collection, preservation, and distribution of magical knowledge, with an emphasis on ensuring that all citizens of Tamriel benefit from this knowledge. 2. Authority. The Guild of Mages was established on Somerset Isle in the year 230 of the Second Era by Vanus Galerion and Rylus XII. It was later confirmed by the Guild's Act of Potentate Versaduce. 3. Rules and procedures. Crimes against fellow members of the Guild are treated with the harshest discipline. Whether a member may regain their status in the Guild is determined by the Archmage. 4. Membership requirements. The Guild of Mages only accepts candidates of keen intelligence and dominant will. That's not true. They accepted Bashla. Candidates must exhibit mastery in the great schools of magic: destruction, alteration, illusion, and mysticism. Candidates must also display practical knowledge of enchantments and alchemical processes. 5. Applications for membership. Candidates must present themselves to the steward of the guild hall for examination and approval. Attachment A. Mages Guild chapters in Vardenfell District, province of Morrowind. Chapters are established in guild-owned freestanding guild halls in the towns of Aldrune, Balmora, and Caldera. The chapter in Sidrith Mora is established in Wolverine Hall under lease from the Telvanni Council. The chapter in Vivec is established in the Foreign Quarter under lease from the Tribunal Temple. Mages Guild Charter. Fully expected my orc to throw the book away in disgust at the sight of rules and procedures. My orc wasn't reading that as diligently as I was. She was flipping through it to see if her sister would like it. And was like, no, that's not the sort of thing my sister would be interested in.
You have something to say to me?
Though I'm no longer doing the ratings immediately after I read. That was taking too long. I didn't like it. More books. So right now I'm just writing down the books so that you can do this. You can go, I think it's a book count. Yeah, and we'll tell you how many books she's read. Just books though, not all the other stuff.
Can we hurry this along?
Alright, I'm looking for someone. Probably you.
Yes.
No, not you. I'm looking for somebody. Haven't found her yet. You also look very tense. Like your shoulders are really, really high up. Oh, it's probably you. Yeah. I thought it seemed like a kitschy name. She has no words for me. The House of Troubles, though. The House of Troubles is new. Let's read the House of Troubles. How long is the House of Troubles? Okay, it's not very long. The House of Troubles. Among the ancient ancestral spirits who accompanied Saint Veloth. Among the ancient ancestral spirits who accompanied Saint Veloth and the Chimer into the promised land of Morrowind, the four Daedra lords Malakath, Mehrunes Dagon, Molag Bal, and Sheogorath are known as the Four Corners of the House of Troubles. These Daedra lords rebelled against the council and admonition of the tribunal, causing great kinstrife and confusion among the clans and great houses. Malakath, Mehrunes Dagon, Molag Bal, and Sheogorath are holy in that they serve the role of obstacles during the testing. Through time, they have sometimes become associated with local enemies like the Nords, Akaviri, or mountain orcs. Malakath is the reanimated dung that was Trinimac. Malakath is a weak but vengeful god. The Dark Elves say he is Malak, the god king of the orcs. He tests the Dunmer for physical weakness. Molag Bal is, in Morrowind, the king of rape. He tries to upset the bloodlines of houses and otherwise ruin the Dunmer gene pool. A race of monsters said to live in Molag Amur are the result of his seduction of Vivec during the previous era. Sheogorath is the king of madness. He always tests the Dunmer for mental weakness. In many legends, he is called upon by one Dunmer faction against another. In half of these stories, he does not betray those who called him, further confusing the issue of his place in the scheme of things. Can he help us? Is he not an obstacle? He is often associated with the fear other races have of the Dunmer, especially those who, like the Empire, might prove as useful allies. Mehrunes Dagon is the god of destruction. He is associated with natural dangers like fire, earthquakes, and floods. To some, he represents the inhospitable land of Morrowind. He tests the Dunmer's will to survive and persevere. The worship of these 4 malevolent spirits is against the law and practice of the temple. However, the 4 corners seldom fail to discover those greedy, reckless, or mad enough to serve them. By ancient temple law and custom, and also by Imperial law, the lives of witches and warlocks are forfeit, and Imperial garrisons join ordinators and buoyant armatures of the temple in tracking down and destroying these foul covens in the wilderness refuges and ancient ruins where they conceal their profane worships. Very interesting. Very interesting. Troubles. Am I allowed to look in this desk? I'm gonna check, I guess. I just saved. If she gets mad at me. She didn't get mad at me. Okay. An apprentice's calcinator. Oh, is this the stuff I need to do the alchemy? I don't think it's one of my main skills, though, so it's not really much point. Will she get mad if I, like, just pick up this crab meat? And then try to sell it back to her? Paper. Scrap metal. Does it have, like, alchemical value? Hey, there's a mortar and pestle. A master's mortar and pestle. Can I just take this mortar and pestle? I cannot. The answer was no. I cannot just take that mortar and pestle. The answer was no.
I'm listening.
I'm Massalinie Marion, the Breton. Guild Guide. I'll provide instantaneous transport between various mages' guild halls in Vardenfell. Oh, convenient. What is your destination? I can also help with local information. Do you need services? Are you looking for a specific place or for someone in particular? I want to know about rumors. Yeah, right. The temple says this Peak Star heretic is dead, but did they produce a body? I don't see no body. Okay, so something about some Peak Star heretic? Peak Star heretic is dead? Alright. Do you have any secrets? Everybody can learn a few spells. You don't need to be a wizard to cast spells. It makes life easier. And when you learn a spell, practice. It's the only way to learn, and it helps to pass the time. Okay. You're the person I need to talk to, though. Why do I approach? Because I need to talk to you. I'm new in the guild. I'm not a mage. I'm actually really stupid. But I heard that you guys had, like, an order of people who aren't mages who, like, help you because you're squishy. Can I do that? Can I do that? Really, I should just ask about duties, huh? What brings you to Ajira's shop? Do you want duties from Ajira? Do you want the local brews? Or help in a fight? Some Telvanni bugmusk? Or a way to reach high places? Ah, yes, that. Ah, yes, Ajira knows. You have the... What do you call it? The curiosity? Yes, Ajira likes to reach all the high places too. And Ajira has just the potion for you. A potion of rising force. Okay. I want that. I want that. That's just the same thing. Probably I have to barter with her, huh? And it's all gonna be magic. It's not all magic? She has some miscellaneous things. Ah, I see. She has a mortar and pestle that I tried to steal. So a potion of rising force is what she has. And I don't really want a potion. I wanted to do the spell. That's it. Standard rising force potion. I'm gonna grip one. Thank you. Please come again. Alright. Do you know... Oh yeah, duties. Yes, Ajira has duties for you. Before Ajira can be a journeyman in the Mages Guild, Ajira must study local mushrooms. To finish Ajira's report, Ajira needs samples of luminous Russula, violet copernus, bungler's bane, and hypophasia. Ajira knows you can find all these on the Bitter Coast. The easiest way is to go south along the river Odai until you see a wooden bridge across the river. Get out of the river there and find a path west over the hills. Okay. I just need one of each. It says my journal's been updated. Let's see. Ajira asked me to bring her samples of 4 types of mushrooms. It just says samples. Okay. So, get luminous Russula, violet, coprin, bungler's bane, hypophasia for Ajira. And this is Mage's Guild. Okay. Okay. Close. Hey, Pyrus the Burned. I want some better directions than that. That's not gonna work. Oh, I didn't even write down the directions. Go south along Odai till you see a wooden bridge, get out of the river, and find a path west. South along the river, west at the bridge. What's the directions? I'm gonna at least write that down. Alright, got it written down. And also, welcome in, Pyrus. I'm happy you're here. Those are like the worst directions ever. Oh, great. This will be fun trying to find it then, won't it? Tell me about the luminous Russula. Russula comes from a short, smelly toadstool, which is brown on top, okay? The other one? Copernus comes from long-stemmed toadstools, which glow blue at night. Bungler's bane grows on trees and sometimes other things. It looks like the tree has brown shells. Ajira warns you not to eat Bungler's bane. Hypophasia. Hypophasia looks much like Bungler's bane and grows like a shelf on trees and other things. Hypophasia is safe to eat, but make sure it is not Bungler's bane. Help in a fight. Ajira sells potions to restore health for when you are bleeding. What's the Foyata Mamea? Foyatas are valleys made by lava from Red Mountain. Foyata Mamea is very old, very easily recognized. An old Dwemer bridge across the Foyata near Fort Moonmoth. Ah. What about Telvanni Bugmusk? You were offering that to me. Ajira does not like the Telvanni, but even Khajiit like the smell of Bugmusk. Try some and smell how all the men like you. You, no thanks. Alright, so I've got my job. Which was, what again? There's a reason I write things down. Getting the stuff, and it requires me to go out of town a bit. So I'm gonna look around a little more. Maybe there's something easier. Also, I've got to check out more of this Mage's Guild building. Who are you? No, you're the person I saw when I first walked in, right? I went downstairs. Now I need to go upstairs. Who are you?
I really don't have quit.
But I like your robe, Galbadir. Step right up, Bashla Unker, and look over my collection of scrolls. How about the flashy and cheap Taldum Scorcher to burn your foes, or own Ducey's Unhinging to open stuck chests and doors? If you're going somewhere dangerous, try some Scrolls of Vitality and Vigor to restore your health and fatigue. If you're in real trouble, you'll want Almsavi Intervention or Divine Intervention to transport you instantly to the nearest temple or nearest Imperial shrine. Very nice. So, barter, enchanting, training. Nice. The people here like me. A Doze Charm. Dire Viper Blade. Two-handed Spear. Amulet of Stamina. Restore Fatigue. How much do these cost? Oh, these cost a lot. I'm not spending money right now. Thank you, though. Do you know any... Do you have any, she doesn't know any new rumors, it looks like. Womp womp. Alright, no new rumors. Well, let's see what this book over here is. Origin of the Mages Guild. I know I read that in Oblivion, but have I read it here? I don't think I have. I don't think I have read it here. Bugmusk is just a personality potion, essentially. Oh, that's nice. That's nice. Can I take it? Let's see if I can just take it. Or if they get mad at me. Okay, no one got mad at me. That's good. I can read it later. What if I look in the desk? Now, there was a chest downstairs that said, like, equipment. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm allowed into this chest. Pretty sure. Pretty sure I can take, like, this. And Spirit of the Daedra. That looks like another book I can read. Special Flora of Tamriel. That's a book I've already read. Really, I should just hit take all and then put the Special Flora of Tamriel back. Or I can sell it. Oh, I can't put items in the container. I can only take items from the container. Alright. Alright, that's fine. That's fine then. That's fine.
Speak quickly.
Oh, it's raining again. Or still. I suppose. I just went inside. It's not like that much time has gone by. What's this here? This is... Oh, this is the bookstore. I've been there. We spent a lot of time there already. Already this stream. Nearly 2 hours, like an hour and a half in the bookstore. This is the Fighter's Guild. This is the Mage's Guild. Yeah, okay. So, I've been here. I've been here. There's a thingy over here. It's got a little flag flying. What's this about? Who's this? Balmora 8 plates. I was told to go to the 8 plates place. That I got a thingy. I got a thingy about it. About the 8 plates. Yazoo. It's okay. It's like listening to a Lauren audiobook.
Your wounds are mine.
Yeah, especially when I'm in a bookstore, huh?
Speak, traveler.
Oh, gosh. Everyone's just staring at me. Instead of trying to give you directions, they should have just said what towns you could find them around, right?
I can tell.
I'm gonna try to follow directions, though I've been bad at it so far. Right now, though, actually, I think I need to take a little break. It's a short little one.
Outlander, I haven't much time.
So I'll just stand here in the middle of this
Please,
place
have a
while,
look around.
actually, can I sit? Am
What
I
do you
allowed to
want?
sit in this? Am I allowed to? Is that an ability that I have? Oh, I don't think so. Okay, I can't sit. Doesn't look like. So I'll just stand here in the middle of the 8 plates while I take a little break. I'm going to put 10 minutes on the clock, but it'll probably be closer to 5. It shouldn't be a very long break. Most directions are very poorly written. You know what? I think poorly written directions are probably pretty accurate since most people are really awful at giving directions. So let's just put that in the game. And you have to try to get directions, like find your way based on the awful directions people give you. I find that funny. Alright, so if you need a little break, go ahead and get yourself something to drink. Bathroom break, whatever you need. See you back here in 5 to 10 minutes.
Tell your friends about this place.
Probably nothing.
Alrighty, hats are over. I'm back. Also, you just dance into the music. Alright, let's see if any of these people have any work for me. You, Traven Marvos. Stop walking! Hello, friend. I'm Traven Marvos. Welcome to Balmora. If you have a question, I'd be happy to answer it, or try anyway. And if it's just a little advice you'd like, that's fine too. Well, he's quite nice. What are you training? Short blade, light armor, and axe. Do I have that much? I do. Train me an axe. I think I'm currently using a hammer. Yeah, I'm currently using a hammer. But that's okay. Axe is my main one. Just my hammer is better at the moment. Do you know any rumors? Been hearing voices at night, do you? How about a secret? If you're having trouble persuading someone, offer a bribe. Don't be so stuffy. Bribes are the lubricant of honest commerce. Alright, alright.
Tell your friends about this place.
Okay, Dolnea Rolal. Hey, Kitty Fly, welcome in! You can train in this game for as much as you can afford in this game. Once you become rich, you can literally become powerful and break the game. Oh, that sounds so nice. Happy to see you, Kitty. You can make money easily by getting late game gear early on. Nice, nice, nice. It would be nice to come across some late game gear. Let's see. Oh, do you know any rumors? And how do you think it was that bloated Imperial plutocrats got the charter to exploit the Caldera ebony deposits and not a native great house or local colonist? Big, fat bribes, I tell you, and friends in high places. Alright. Oh no, plutocrats! You're not gonna tell me where to get stuff, you're just saying it is possible. Stuff exists, of course, stuff should exist in the world that's too high level for me, right? What do you want? I want the latest rumors. House Redoran's in trouble. Halalu's got all the ebony trade. Telvanni are grabbing land left and right. I hear Bolvin Venom is sleeping with Fathasa Letheri, and Garissa won't do anything about it. A Redoran and Vivec refused to show up for a duel the other day. House Redoran isn't what it used to be, that's for sure. Why does it say requirements? All the divines require of anyone is time, effort, attention. Oh, okay. Will she tell you about Lenine? And did I visit Caldera? No, I haven't been to Caldera yet. This is the first... No, this is actually the second place I've been outside of Lenine. I've been to Pelagiad, or whatever it's called.
Have a look around.
Does she have something to say about... No? Doesn't look like it's on the list. Let's see. So they don't have quests for me. I'm guessing... Oh, you have a name! You have a name, Albus Terry. Do you have a quest for me? What do you want? I want to know if you have a quest for me. I don't see anything. Can you tell me about Caius Cosades? The old fellow in trouble again, eh? He has a number of bad habits, like forgetting to pay the man in a timely manner. I don't know where he is, but he hangs out in Southwall Corner Club. Go ask for him there. Well, I have definitely already found him. Okay. Let's check out down here. Doors locked, doors locked. Okay.
Please, have a look around.
Too much. I will listen out and make it quick.
Right, I should be looking for, stuff. A ceramic bowl. Was a ceramic bowl on my list of things? 10 ceramic bowls. Is anyone around? No one's around. No one will see me take it. Take. Okay. He told me not to give him stolen things, but I don't know how he's gonna tell that they're stolen. He also literally said he doesn't have time to check everything. So it's like, he just doesn't want the bother when somebody says, hey, this is a stolen thing. It's not that he'll know when I sell it to him. Right? Right? This is my thought. This is my thought. Different game and Lauren is still a thief. Well, this character grew up on the streets. She grew up homeless. So yeah, being a thief kind of fits for her. A ceramic bowl is always on my list of things. See, you're just a Halalu guard. You don't even have a name. Get healed? You're in the Razor Hole, the best weapon shop in Balmora, and you're talking to Thoric, the best smith in Balmora. Oh, nice, nice. You have any rumors? Whatever you heard, I don't deal in smuggled dwarven weapons. You'll find no prescribed enchantments or anything of the like here. Smuggled dwarven weapons, you say? Nothing like that here. At this point, we can only assume Lauren is an IRL thief. Yep, because in-game behavior is definitely the best representative. It makes perfect sense. No notes. This is not me confessing. Oh, see, they do say redware. Those other ones I got are nothing. They're worth nothing. Yeah, redware. The ones I want say redware on them. So, I don't need these. But I do need the ceramic bowl. And maybe the vases? Or was it a redware vase? Or redware vases. There we go. Game behavior mirrors real life behavior. Yep, true. This is what the scientists have determined and why they're like outlawing violent video games, right? Yep. Oh. Okay. I didn't look and see what the armorer actually had for sale. Let me...
I will listen, Outlander. But
by the gods, you Tarsans.
Well, I was, like, gonna try to buy from you, but Polywoggy, outlawing violent realities so it stops influencing innocent video game characters. I like the way you think, Polywoggy. And welcome in. Welcome to the stream. Happy to have you here and joining in. Have you ever played Morrowind before? Are there any... This is two-handed axe. Iron battle axe. They're the same, aren't they? Yeah. Any two-handed swords? Long blade, two-handed, 27, 20. Nah, I like my axe better, really. I think I'll stick with that. Okay. Alright, I guess I'm not buying from you, guy. Sorry. Now, I went from there. I think I haven't been this way yet. No, I definitely haven't. It's grayed out on my map. So let's check out this part of Balmora. Up these stairs. What's this tower thing? What are you? Western Guard Tower South. Okay. And you are a Terrible Manor. Well, this looks like a place that probably sells stuff. What is it? Oh, this is Halalu Council Manor. So it probably doesn't sell stuff, but maybe it's open to the public. Maybe that's what the banner means? I could be wrong. Narano Manor. Is everything... Oh, the Morag Tone. I've heard of them. I wonder if they'll let me join the Morag Tone. Well, then why'd you just walk up to me and say that, huh? 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 If I think someone looks like trouble, I tend to go the other way. That's me. I just have this pesky little thing called a sense of survival. Balmora. Millie Hastiane, fine clothier. Well, I can't afford fine clothes. She'd steal your coin, she'd steal your bread, then decorate the road with your head. An orc of culture? Hardly, nah. Just hammer, loot, and rah! Fine alchemist. Also sounds a bit expensive, doesn't it? Let me see. But you're an alchemist. Oh, look at look at the potion bottles. Oh, they are stylish potion bottles. I like it. All right. Now, Karya.
Yet I do think he meant well.
Yes, this is Balmora. Tell me what you want. Of course I know it's Balmora. Do you have any rumors? It was inevitable. The local criminal organization, the Kimona Tong, wasn't going to stand by and let the Thieves Guild set up shop in their territory. It'll be bloody, and the Thieves Guild doesn't stand a chance. Oh, gang war, huh? Cute bottles might steal later. Hey, I didn't say that. She's a warrior, not a thief. She just grew up on the streets and knows to grab things. That's how you ensure that you have money. No, not money to eat. Food to eat tomorrow. Alright, so there's gonna be a bloody war. Got it. What do you have? Fire shield, personality, Flynn, whatever Flynn is. Do I have anything that you would like to buy? No, apparently I've sold it all. Okay, never mind. I thought maybe she would want to buy something from me. Those are small chests.
Go ahead.
I don't see any books, not even books about alchemy. A large redware bowl. Is redware bowls what I need? No, I need redware cups and redware vases and ceramic bowls. Green glass, green pot, pitcher, redware cups and vases, and ceramic bowls. Alright, I guess I'll try the place with the fine clothes because maybe they have books for their customers to read while they're getting their clothes made. Oh, she has flowers. And just all these robes and stuff out here. That's cool.
Be quick about this or find someone else to...
Alright, stranger. Tell me what you want. Services? Or are you here in Balmora for someone in particular? You don't have any rumors, so let me just see what you have for sale. What's this? Exquisite amulet. Extravagant ruby amulet. All this stuff looks very nice. Chisa would probably love it. Bashla couldn't care less. If her sister wanted it, she would be interested. Yellow glass bowl, large redware bowl, vase, redware bowl, large redware bowl. The large redware bowl is smaller than the redware bowl. Peach glass bowl. Oh, there's a book. Book of Dawn and Dusk. The Book of Dawn and Dusk. Oh no, I have read this. I thought it was new, but I've read it. Alright. Alright. Got excited. Thought you had a new book. But Bucha won't care about that book.
There's something not right about it.
I'm going. What's over here? So, this is Halalo Manor. Oh, this is the way I came up. I'm not lost. I'm gonna try down over this way, or maybe go this way, rather than down and up again. What is this place? Oh, it's the temple. Alright, interesting.
Say what you want.
Temple person. Alright, stranger, tell me what you want. Services, or are you here in Balmora for someone in particular? Do you know a secret? Don't be in such a hurry when you're traveling. Take your time, keep your eyes open, learn from your experiences. You're on the road to learn about yourself and the world around you. Okay. Can I look in this closet, or will you get mad at me? Redware pot. Motzi, redware bowl, sheen. I don't know if he would have got mad at me if I'd taken anything out of there, and he just didn't get mad because I didn't. Oh, I keep forgetting to change the settings so that I don't see the people walking above.
Say what you want.
Greetings, citizen. I'm Dralval Andrano. This town is Balmora, council seat of House Halalu. We're loyal citizens of the Empire and proud of it. I think I've read that already, to be honest. I don't see any... Guess unless I want to know about your background. Why do you have bones? Oh, wait, this is a temple. That's probably where you keep dead people, isn't? Because don't they put, like, all the dead people in a communal thing?
Do you want something?
Because there's more bones here, right? What's this? Shrine of Saint Lothus. Would you like to make a donation and receive a blessing? I don't know what the blessing would be. And there's others. Saint Realms. And what's this? Bottle, cup, gold. Thank you. Take the gold at least. Ah, that goes down. Okay. This goes up. I'm already lost, by the way. Shrine of the Tribunal. Make a donation and receive a blessing.
I don't have a lot of patience for questions, Outlander.
Welcome, my child. That is a very different attitude from the one she just gave me. Do you seek to join the temple? No, that is not something that I seek to do. Books! The Doors of the Spirit. The Doors of the Spirit. The ancestors are among us. They are never farther away than the waiting door. The ancestors are not departed. The dead are not under the earth. Their spirits are in the restless wind, in the fire's voice, in the foot-smoothed step. Pay heed to these things, and you will know your absent kin. Pay reverence through gift and prayer. Acquaint the ancestors with your affairs, with your comings and goings, with your blessings and trials. From the waiting door comes your protection. Heed the spirits who are the guardians of your hearth, teachers of wisdom, counselors of fortune, seers of fate. Each bone is a door through the wall of the world. Each bone is the road with wisdom and power, the travelers. Each bone is the ghost fence that guards us from evil. Honor the ancestors upon your hearths, within your halls, in the community of your temples, in the solitude of your tombs. Guard the ancestors against beasts, thieves, profane priests, and sorcerers. Let no creature steal your spirits, for the plundered hearth is diminished, and the plundered tomb is shamed. Live in one world with your spirits. Honor the spirits within and without you. Do not grieve for the dead. Take shelter in their arms and pay heed to their words.
Say what you want.
Interesting. The doors of the spirits. Well, I don't want to join. I just want to read your books that I haven't read yet. The Consolations of Prayer. Through the bounty of blessed Almalexia, triune grace, and all the hosts of saints, the faithful who pray at the temple's shrines may be granted blessings through the miraculous sacraments of prayer and devotion. The three-sided shrines betoken the three-faced benison of Almalexia and may be found in temples, at sites of pilgrimage, at pilgrim waysides, or in the tomb of the sanctified. What benefits may be gained shall be listed herein for the edification of the worshipper and pilgrim. All shrines grant cures of common diseases, of blight diseases, and of afflictions of poison. Those shrines bearing the images of Vivec, Almalexia, and Sothasil also may grant the blessing of Almalexia restoration, which restores damaged attributes, and the three blessings of Almalexia: Vivec's mystery for good fortune, Soul of Sothasil for magical power, and Lady's grace for endurance of hardships. Those shrines bearing the images of the saints may also grant the particular blessings of the saints, which are listed for you. Saint Aralor grants Aralor's intervention for fortifying character. Saint Delin grants Shield of Saint Delin for resistance to blight diseases. Saint Felms grants Felm's glory for greater skill in restoring magics. Saint Lothus grants Rock of Lothus for fortifying the will. Saint Maris grants Maris's warding for resistance to corpus disease. Saint Nerevar grants Spirit of Nerevar for fortifying the body's vigor. Saint Olms grants Olms benediction for resistance to common disease. Saint Rilms grants Rilm's grace for endurance of hardships. Saint Roris grants Roris's bloom for fortifying the body's health. Saint Saren grants Saren's shield for resistance to poisons. Saint Veloth grants Veloth's indwelling for magical power, and also grants the blessing of Almalexia restoration, which restores damaged attributes. The faithful are granted these blessings when they pray at the shrines and make a modest donation. The blessed of the initiate rank and higher of the temple have already made their devotions in service and piety, and need only pray at the shrines to receive their benefits. And Almalexia is generous, so even the unbeliever may receive a blessing if he prays, if he proves his respect with a generous donation. Interesting. The Consolations of Prayer. Homilies of Blessed Almalexia. You know, I thought I'm gonna be doing more adventuring when I'm out of the bookstore. I can't help it. I can't help it. I find books I must read. The Homilies of Blessed Almalexia. Sothasil and the Scribs. Young Sothasil, while playing in the egg mines, saw a number of scribs in a deep shaft, and he began to cast stones upon them, snickering as they skittered and scattered, until one of the scribs, lifting its head up in agony, cried out to Sothasil, "Please, please have mercy, little boy, for what is sport to you is suffering and death to us." And so, Sothasil discovered that the idle amusements of one may be the solemn tortures of another. Lord Vivec and the contentious Ashok and Kagudi were strutting back and forth in a foyada, casting aspersions of one another's looks. "You are the ugliest creature alive," the Shok told the Kagudi. "No, you are the ugliest creature alive," the Kagudi told the Shok. For each thought himself most handsome, and the other most ugly. Then Lord Vivec chanced by and settled their dispute. No, you both are the ugliest creatures alive, and I will not have my pleasant sojourn spoiled by your unseemly squabbling. So he dealt them both mighty blows, shattering their skulls and silencing their argument, and went merrily upon his way. And thus Lord Vivec proved that ugliness is as much in one's manner as in one's appearance. The boiled Kagudi. It is said that if a Kagudi steps into a boiling pool, he will leap out immediately to avoid harm. But if the Kagudi is standing in a pool and a wizard slowly raises the temperature, measure by measure, to boiling, the Kagudi will calmly stand in place until he is boiled. Thus we see that we must be alert not only to the obvious danger, but also to the subtle degrees by which change may result in danger. The dubious healer. Once upon a time, a Telvanni issued forth from his tower and proclaimed to all the world that he was a mighty and learned healer, master of all alchemy and potions, and able to cure all diseases. Lord Vivec looked upon this wizard and listened to his boasting, then asked him, "How can you pretend to prescribe for others the cure to all diseases when you are unable to cure yourself of your own manifest arrogance and foolishness?" The Gwar and the Mud Crabs. The Gwar were so tormented by the other creatures they did not know where to go. As soon as they saw a single beast approach them, off they dashed in terror. One day they saw a pack of Nyx hounds ranging about, and in a desperate panic all the Gwar scuttled off towards the sea, determined to drown themselves rather than live in such a continual state of fear. But just as they got near the shoreline, a colony of mud crabs, frightened in their turn by the approach of the Gwar, scuttled off and threw themselves into the water. "Truly," said one of the Gwar, "things are not so bad as they seem, for there is always someone worse off than you." The wounded Netch. A wounded Netch lay himself down in a quiet corner of his feeding ground. His healthy companions came in great numbers to inquire after his health, yet each one helped himself to a share of the fodder which had been placed there for his use, so that the poor Netch died, not from his wounds, but from the greed and carelessness of his erstwhile friends. And so it is clear that thoughtless companions may bring more harm than help. I like that book. Keys of Blessed Almalexia. What's this one? 36 Lessons of Vivec. Sermon 34. Oh, I think I heard about this. These. Wasn't I told about these? Oh, it gave me a skill up. I gained knowledge. My unarmored skill increased. Yay! 36 Lessons of Vivec. Sermon 34. Then Vivec left the ministry of truth and went back to the space that was not a space. From the provisional house, he looked into the middle world to find the eighth and final mightiest monster, called Golga Morgil, and more. The wise must look elsewhere for this string of power. Vivec called to his side the Hortator, and this was the first time that Nerevar had ever been to the provisional house. He had the same vision that Vivec had had so many years ago, that of the two-headed ruling king. "Who is that?" he wondered. Vivec said, "The red jewel of conquest." Nerevar, perhaps because he was frightened, became vexed at his lord's answer. "Why are you always so evasive?" Vivec told the Hortator that to be otherwise was to betray his true nature. Together, they moved into the middle world, to a village near where Vivec had been found by Ayem and Set. The eighth monster was there, but he did not act much like a monster. He sat with his legs in the ocean, and with a troubled look on his face. When he saw his mother-father, he asked why he should have to die and return to oblivion. Vivec told the eighth monster that to be otherwise was to betray his nature. Since this did not seem to satisfy the monster, and Vivec still had a touch of Ayem's mercy, he said, "The fire is mine, let it consume thee, and make a secret door at the altar of Padhome in the house of Boethia, where we become safe and looked after." The monster accepted Muatra with a peaceful look, and his bones became the foundation for the city of the dead, Anon Narcissus. Nerevar put away his axe, which he had at the ready, and frowned. Why, he said, did you ask me to come if you knew the 8th monster would give in so easily? Vivec looked at the Hortator for a long time. Nerevar understood. Do not betray your nature. Answer as you will. Vivec said, I brought you here because I knew the mightiest of my issue would succumb to Muatra without argument, if only I gave him consolation first. Nerevar looked at Vivec for a long time. Vivec understood. Say the words, Hortator. Nerevar said, Now I am the mightiest of your children. Let this sermon be consolation to those who read it that are destined to die. The ending of the words is Almsivi. I'm not sure that's much comfort, actually. 36 Lessons of Vivec. And that was number 34. Okay. The Pilgrim's Path? I believe I read that one already. Oh, there's number 14. And then Fellowship of the Temple. This one increased my spear. Yay! The 36 Lessons of Vivec, Sermon 14. Vivec lay with Molag Bal for 80 days and 8, though headless. In that time, the prince placed the warrior poet's feet back and filled them with the blood of Daedra. In this way, Vivec's giant form remained forever harmless to good earth. The pomegranate banquet brought many spirits back from the dead so that the sons and daughters of the Union had much to eat besides fruit. The Duke of Scamps came while the banquet was still underway, and Molag Bal looked on the 7 penants with anger. The King of Rape had become necessary and therefore troubled for the rest of time. His legions and kutas fell into open war, but the children of Molag Bal and Vivec were too elaborate in form and power. The Duke of Scamps therefore became a lesser thing, as did all his own children. Molag Bal said to them, You are the sons of liars, dogs, and wolf-headed women. They have been useless to summon ever since. The Holy One returned at last, Vec, golden with wisdom. His head found its body had been tenderly used. He mentioned this to Molag Bal, who told him that he should thank the barons of move like this, for I have yet to learn how to refine my rapture. My love is accidentally shaped like a spear. So Vivec, who had a grain of Ayem's mercy, set about to teach Molag Bal in the ways of belly magic. They took their spears out and compared them. Vivec bit new words into the King of Rapes so that it might give more than ruin to the uninitiated. This has since become a forbidden ritual, though people still practice it in secret. Here is why. The Velothi and demons and monsters that were watching all took out their own spears. There was much biting, and the earth became wet. And this was the last laugh of Molag Bal. Watch as the earth shall crack heavy with so much power that should have been forever unalike. Then that stretch of badlands that had been the site of the marriage fragmented and threw fire. And a race that is no more, but that was terrible at the time to behold, came forth. Born of the biters, that is all they did, and they ran amuck across the lands of Veloth and even to the shores of Red Mountain. But Vivec made of his spear a more terrible thing, from a secret he had bitten off from the King of Rape. And so he sent Molag Bal tumbling into the crack of the biters and swore forever that he would not deem the king beautiful ever again. Vivec wept as he slew all those around him with his terrible new spear. He named it Muatra, which is milk taker, and even the Chimeri mystics knew his fury. Anyone struck by Vivec at this time turned barren and withered into bone shapes. The path of bones became a sentence for the stars to read, and the heavens have never known children. Vivec hunted down the biters one by one and all their progeny, and he killed them all by means of the 9 apertures, and the wise still hide theirs from Muatra. The ending of the words is Almsivi. Alright, 36 Lessons of Vivec. And that's number 14. Fellowship of the Temple is also a new one. Fellowship of the Temple by Archcanon Tholer Sarioni. I have been asked to write this guidebook for outsiders who are unfamiliar with the Tribunal Temple and interested in joining. All those who are earnest and who are willing to submit to the wisdom of Blessed Almsevy, Triune Grace, the saints, and the priests are welcome to the fellowship of the Tribunal Temple. The temple is the religion of Morrowind and Dunmer people, and has been for generation upon generation. With the guidance and counsel of Almalexia, Vivec, and Sothasil, the Anticipations, and all the hosts of saints of ancestors, the temple guards and protects the lands and peoples of Morrowind. Those who follow the tribunal must have the personality to lead others and the willpower to resist the world's temptations. When violence is needful, we fight with staves and hammers, armored only by our faith. We study restoration and alchemy to heal the people, and mysticism to learn more of the divine. We must also study conjuration to speak with the spirits of our ancestors and protect against those who traffic with the Four Corners. Those interested in joining the Tribunal Temple should speak to priests in the temples in Aldrune, Balmora, Molag Mar, and Ghostgate, or with priests at the High Fane in the temple compound in Vivec. Articles of Faith. The temple believes that Almalexia, Vivec, and Sothasil were mortal guardians of Morrowind who walked the earth, defeated the Dunmer's greatest enemies, the Nords and the Dwarves, and achieved divine substance through superhuman discipline and virtue, and supernatural wisdom and insight. Like loving ancestors, they guard and counsel their followers. Like stern parents, they punish sin and error. Like generous relatives, they share their bounty among the greatest and least, according to their needs. Duties of the faithful. Your fourfold duties are to faith, family, masters, and all that is good. Perform holy quests and bring luster to the temple. Never transgress against your brothers or sisters, and never dishonor your house or your ancestors. Serve and protect the poor and weak, and honor your elders and clan. For those who would be wise, these sacred books will be of interest. Sarjoni's Sermons. Learn from the teachings of Vivec and from the Archcanon's sermons on the Seven Graces. Lives of the Saints. Members of the temple who wish to be virtuous will model their lives on the lives of the saints. The Pilgrim's Path. The path to wisdom and self-knowledge is through pilgrimage. Those who would rise in the ranks of the faithful may retrace the steps of the lords and saints, and gain blessings and learn virtue by suffering and overcoming hardships. The Consolations of Prayer. Learn what bounties and blessings may be gained by prayer at the shrines found in temples, in places of pilgrimage, and in the tombs of our ancestors. I think I have read all those. I just read this one, right? So, Fellowship of the Temple. And so I've definitely read the Pilgrim's Path as well. I leveled up! I leveled up! I should rest and meditate on what I've learned. Yay! Yay, I finally leveled up. Yay! There's nothing up here. It's just a place for you to go if you want to look down on others, I guess. Okay. Very, elf. Alright. I leveled up. Aren't you happy for me? Yes, this is Balmora. Tell me what you want. You don't have any rumors. Alright, I can probably go sleep in the Fighters Guild, I would guess. I would guess that I can sleep in the Fighters Guild.
Wounds are minor can continue to bother me.
Oh. Okay. Well, I don't really want to join the temple. I did find where they keep their secret books hidden. Have I been down here? Yes, this is where the dead people are.
No, I don't think so.
I haven't seen you before, though. You have any rumors? Look, it's not just the crops and herds. The blight storms are making everyone sick. It's not an easy cure even for a temple, and all they've got in the backcountry is the odd healer and pilgrim shrine. Oh, okay. There are blight storms, alright.
I don't have a lot of patience for questions, Outlander.
I thought you had a horn for a second, but it's just your weapon. Alright, stranger, tell me what you want. I just want to see if you know any rumors. Rhaenys Athris in the Balmora Mages Guild has something against wizards who aren't in the guild. I think it has something to do with her parents, who were murdered by the old Telvanni Archmagister, the one before Gothrin. Oh, okay. So maybe Rhaenys Athris will, have something for me later. Some work. Some work. Write this down. Write this down. Rhaenys Athris. My Athris's parents were murdered by the old Telvanni Archmagister of the Mages Guild. Okay. Got that, got that. Alright, goodbye. I think this is a different place with dead people than the other one I was at. Maybe I went from one side of the building to the other. That might make sense. Might make sense. Oh, wait. I just went farther down. Okay, I don't know where I'm at. This is not news. Me not knowing where I'm at is not news. Let's go this way. Okay, here's a room. It's got these things hanging on the walls. Didn't I talk to you already?
Want something?
I'm not sure if I did. What do you want, he says. Well, he doesn't have any rumors. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I've been in. No, there's nothing in there anyway. Alright, alright, alright. Let's see. That's the way out. Let's head out. I've learned some things. I know what this place is now. What's the map looking like? Looks like maybe I could go over this way. Otherwise, I think I've probably explored Balmora, so I'm gonna go to the left. This way. I'm gonna look on the other side of the river, and I'm gonna see what there is. Also, is there anything in here that what's-his-face would want? Oh, look at that. Look at that. Bowl, goblet, gold. None of that stuff. I like that people just leave random gold. And a ring of lightning bolt? What the heck? Yes? That reminds me, though, that I have an actual ring of healing. That I can do this. And then I can do this. And this. Hello again, Captain. How are you? Hello, fellow orc. It's good of you to stop by. Always happy to see you. Were you looking for a little advice? I was looking for a little secret. I heard the Ordinators burned out a camp of Nerevarine cult worshippers out by the ghost fence in Foyata Ashurdan. The temple seems to be going to a lot of trouble to exterminate a bunch of simple Ashlanders. They can't help being ignorant. They're just primitive savages, and nobody takes that return of Lord Nerevar stuff seriously. Crazy rag-robed prophets. Not much threat there. You're tired? I am good. I'm good. I've been reading a lot on this stream, which has been fun. It has been fun. Okay. Do I know you? Landis Balal. What do you want? Guild guide, little advice, my trade. Well, I don't see anything. I talk too much? Okay. I'm gonna go over the bridge, because I gotta get to the other side of the river. That's the side of the city that I haven't explored yet. Over here. I think it's like mostly people's houses. Yeah, this is Hesserendi's house. Whoever Hesserendi is. Does Hesserendi care if I just go into his house? He wants me to identify myself, which seems fair. I was just wondering if you had any books. You don't. I'll leave. I did save before I went in. That house is locked. This is a roof. Okay. You know, I love the I don't know how well it would work here, where it's constantly raining. But I love the idea of having, like, get-togethers and hangouts on your roof. Like, having the mostly flat roof. And you can have, like, your barbecue up there and whatnot. I love that.
I'm sure there's someone else you can bother.
Probably, but I'm bothering you right now. Do you know any rumors, Drolosa Athrin? I ask myself, do I like you enough to tell you about this? Probably not. Okay. Drarain Thalus's house. Right, I've been there. I've been there. I killed rats for her. She should like me a bunch now. In fact, I might be able to take stuff from her storage, because I think I still have her key. Bottle, cup, goblet, vase. Dura Grubble's house. Okay, so this is another orc lady like me. Well, Dura Grubble, I'm stealing your bowl. Tankard. What's up here? What's up here? Oh my god, how many floors does she have? Is she gonna get mad when Dura Grubble, welcome to Balmora, seat of Council House Halalu. How can I serve you? That's your automatic thought? Okay. What's your trade? What do you do? I am a barbarian and proud of it. I like the wilderness and know how to live comfortably off the land. I know the various native creatures of the wild, how I hunt them, what bits are good to eat, and what bits the city folk will pay for. I know weapons and armor and how to stay healthy, so I can play soldier for pay, but I hate taking orders, so I prefer to live by hunting. She doesn't do any trading. Okay. Do you have any advice? Bryring is a barbarian at the Skyrim mission in Ebonheart. He's remarkably educated and well-spoken for a barbarian, but he knows the things a barbarian should know. Alright, cool. I should have saved before I did that, huh? Blunt weapon, two-handed, take. Oh, it's just one at a time. Plate, vase, bottle. Okay, she's not mad at me. I'll save again. Take that. Alright, cool. She can't see me right now because I'm behind a pole. There's an expensive amulet and some gold. Okay. Oh, she's not even there anymore. Oh no, she's come back now. Hi, I didn't steal anything. This is to Balmora. Alright. Okay, so I'm kind of gonna go left. Got it. Oh. Alright. Drop. Hope I don't die. I didn't die. Yay. Yay. Any of this stuff any good? No. Alright. Let's put that away. Put my hands away. Grab this bottle. Grab this money. Any of this stuff. Anything I want? Nope. Close this one. Grab the money. Grab the... No, that's it. Alright. This one. Restore endurance. And money. Woohoo! What's this place? Oh, this is the corner club. I've been to the corner club. I don't know that I've looked at all the crates on the street, though. Alright, what's this? This is someone's house that's locked up. That's an empty basket. This is Balmora Nine Toes' house. Nine Toes? Who's called Nine Toes? Ah, I thought it was probably an Argonian. Oh, they don't even sleep in beds. He has a hammock. He has a hammock. That surprises me. A Dance and Fire Chapter 3. Oh, I love the Dance and Fire series. Love it. At least what I've read. I don't think I've gotten to all of it in Oblivion, so maybe this will be a new one. Oh, it's got a different font color. Didn't do that in the Oblivion. A Dance and Fire Chapter 3 by Wayne Jarth. Mother Pascoast disappeared into the sordid hole that was her tavern and emerged a moment later with a scrap of paper with Leodes Juris's familiar scrawl. Decimus Scotti held it up before a patch of sunlight that had found its way through the massive boughs of the city tree, and read, Scotti, so you made it to Falinesti Valenwood. Congratulations. I'm sure you had quite an adventure getting here. Unfortunately, I'm not here anymore, as you probably guess. There's a town downriver called Artaeum. Get a boat and join me. It's ideal. I hope you brought a lot of contracts, because these people need a lot of building done. They were close to war, you see, but not so close they don't have any money left to pay. Haha. Meet me down here as soon as you can. Juris. So, Scotty pondered. Juris had left Falinesti and gone to some place called Athy. Given his poor penmanship and ghastly spelling, it could equally well be Athy, Affy, O3, M3, Eartha, or Krakamaka. The sensible thing to do, Scotty knew, was to call his adventure over and try to find some way to get back home to the Imperial City. He was no mercenary devoted to a life of thrills. He was, or at least had been, a senior clerk at a successful private building commission. Over the last few weeks, he had been robbed by the Cathayrat, taken on a death march through the jungle by a gang of giggling Bosmeri, half-starved to death, drugged with fermented pig's milk, nearly slain by some kind of giant tick, and attacked by archers. He was filthy, exhausted, and had, he counted, 10 gold pieces to his name. Now the man whose proposal brought him to the depths of misery was not even there. It was both judicious and seemly to abandon the enterprise entirely. And yet, a small but distinct voice in his head told him, "You have been chosen. You have no other choice but to see this through." Scotty turned to the stout old woman, Mother Pascost, who had been watching him curiously. "I was wondering if you knew of a village that was at the edge of the recent conflict with Elsewhere. It's called something like Athy?" "You must mean Athay," she grinned. "My middle lad, Vigliel, he manages a dairy down there. Beautiful country, right on the river. Is that where your friend went?" "Yes," said Scotty. "Do you know the fastest way to get there?" After a short conversation, an even shorter ride to Falinesti's roots by way of the platforms, and a jog to the riverbank, Scotty was negotiating transport with a huge fair-haired Bosmer with a face like a pickled carp. He called himself Captain Balfix, but even Scotty, with his sheltered life, could recognize him for what he was. A retired pirate for hire, a smuggler for certain, and probably much worse. His ship, which had clearly been stolen in the distant past, was a bent old Imperial sloop. 50 gold and we'll be in Athay in 2 days' time, boomed Captain Balfix expansively. "I have 9 gold pieces," replied Scotty, and feeling the need for explanation added, "I had 10, but I gave one to the platform ferryman to get me down here." 9 is just fine," said the captain agreeably. "Truth be told, I was going to Athay whether you paid me or not. Make yourself comfortable on the boat. We'll be leaving in just a few minutes." Decimus Scotty boarded the vessel, which sat low in the water of the river, stacked high with crates and sacks that spilled out of the hold and galley and onto the deck. Each was marked with stamps advertising the most innocuous substances: copper scraps, lard, ink, high rock meal, marked for cattle, tar, fish jelly. Scotty's imagination reeled, picturing what sorts of illicit imports were truly aboard. It took more than those few minutes for Captain Balfix to haul in the rest of his cargo, but in an hour the anchor was up and they were sailing downriver towards Athay. The green-gray water barely rippled, only touched by the fingers of the lush plant life crowded the banks, obscuring from sight all the animals that sang and roared at one another. Lulled by the serene surroundings, Scotty drifted to sleep. At night, he awoke and gratefully accepted some clean clothes and food from Captain Balfix. "Why are you going to Athay, if I may ask?" queried the Bosmer. "I'm meeting a former colleague there. He asked me to come down from the Imperial City, where I worked for the Atreus Building Commission, to negotiate some contracts." Scotty took another bite of the dried sausages they were sharing for dinner. "We're going to try to repair and refurbish whatever bridges, roads, and other structures that got damaged in the recent war with the Khajiit." "It's been a hard 2 years," the captain nodded his head. "Though I suppose good for me and the likes of you and your friend. Trade routes cut off. Now they think there's going to be a war with the Somerset Isles. You heard that?" Scotty shook his head. "I've done my share of smuggling skooma down the coast, even helping some revolutionary types escape the Maine's wrath. But now the wars have made me a legitimate trader, a businessman. The first casualties of war is always the corrupted. Scotty said he was sorry to hear that, and they lapsed into silence, watching the stars and moon's reflection on the still water. The next day, Scotty awoke to find the captain wrapped up in his sail, torpid from alcohol, singing in a low, slurred voice. When he saw Scotty rise, he offered his flagon of Jaga. I learned my lesson during revelry at Western Cross. The captain laughed and then burst into tears. I don't want to be legitimate. Other pirates I used to know are still raping and stealing and smuggling and selling nice folk like you into slavery. I swear to you, I never thought the first time that I ran a real shipment of legal goods that my life would turn out like this. Oh, I know I could go back to it, but Bondar knows not after all I've seen. I'm a ruined man. Scotty helped the weeping mare out of the sail, murmuring words of reassurance. Then he added, Forgive me for changing the subject, but where are we? Oh, moaned Captain Balfix miserably. We made good time. Artaeum's right around the bend in the river. Then it looks like Artaeum's on fire, said Scotty, pointing. A great plume of smoke, black as pitch, was rising above the trees. As they drifted around the bend, they next saw the flames and then the blackened skeletal remains of the village. Dying, blazing villagers leapt from rocks into the river. A cacophony of wailing met their ears, and they could see, roaming along the edges of the town, the figures of Khajiiti soldiers bearing torches. Bondar, bless me, slurred the captain. The war's back on. Oh no, whimpered Scotty. The sloop drifted with the current towards the opposite shore, away from the fiery town. Scotty turned his attention there, and the sanctuary it offered. Just a peaceful arbor, away from the horror. There was a shudder of leaves in two of the trees, and a dozen lithe Khajiit dropped to the ground, armed with bows. They see us, hissed Scotty, and they've got bows. Well, of course they have bows, snarled Captain Balfix. We Bosmer may have invented the bloody things, but we didn't think to keep them secret, you bloody bureaucrat. Now they're setting their arrows on fire. Yes, they do that sometimes. Captain, they're shooting at us. They're shooting at us with flaming arrows. Ah, so they are, the captain agreed. The aim here is to avoid being hit. But hit they were, and very shortly thereafter. Even worse, the second volley of arrows hit the supply of pitch, which ignited in a tremendous blue blaze. Scotty grabbed Captain Balfix, and they leapt overboard just before the ship and all its cargo disintegrated. The shock of the cold water brought the Bosmer into temporary society? The shock of the cold brought the Bosmer into temporary sobriety. He called to Scotty, who was already swimming as fast as he could towards the bend. Master Decimus, where do you think you're swimming to? Back to Falinesti, cried Scotty. It will take you days, and by the time you get there, everyone will know about the attack on Artaeum. They'll never let anyone they don't know in. The closest village downriver is Grenos. Maybe they'll give us shelter. Scotty swam back to the captain, and side by side they began paddling in the middle of the river, past the burning residuum of the village. He thanked Mara that he had learned to swim. Many a Cyrodiil did not, as largely landlocked as the Imperial province was. He had been raised in Mir Karuk, or Artaeum, as he might have. Had he been raised in Mir Karuk or Artaeum, he might have been doomed. But the Imperial city itself was encircled by water, and every lad and lass there knew how to cross without a boat. Even those who grew up to be clerks and not adventurers. Yay, I'm a possum again! Thank you for the redeem, Blue. Captain Balfix's sobriety faded as he grew used to the water's temperature. Even in wintertide, the Xylo River was fairly temperate and, after a fashion, even comfortable. The Bosmer's strokes were uneven, and he'd stray closer to Scotty and then further away, pushing ahead, and then falling behind. I'm glad you're still here, Blue. Scotty looked to the shore to his right. The flames had caught the trees like tinder. Behind them was an inferno, with which they were barely keeping pace. To the shore on their left, all looked fair until he saw a tremble in the river reeds, and then what caused it. A pride of the largest cats he had ever seen. They were auburn-haired, green-eyed beasts with jaws and teeth to match his wildest nightmares. And they were watching the two swimmers and keeping pace. Captain Balfix, we can't go to either that shore or the other one, or we'll be parboiled or eaten, Scotty whispered. Try to even your kicking and your strokes. Breathe like you would normally. If you're feeling tired, tell me, and we'll float on our backs for a while. Anyone who has had the experience of giving rational advice to a drunkard would understand the hopelessness. Scotty kept pace with the captain, slowing himself, quickening, drifting left and right, while the bowsman moaned the old ditties from his pirate days. When he wasn't watching his companion, he watched the cats on the shore. After a stretch, he turned to his right. Another village had caught fire. Undoubtedly it was Grenos. Scotty stared at the blazing fury, awed by the sight of the destruction, and did not hear that the captain had ceased to sing. When he turned back, Captain Balfix was gone. Scotty dove into the murky depths of the river over and over again. There was nothing to be done. When he surfaced after his final search, he saw that the giant cats had moved on, perhaps assuming that he too had drowned. He continued his lonely swim downriver. A tributary, he noted, had formed a final barrier, keeping the flames from spreading further. But there were no more towns. After several hours, he began to ponder the wisdom of going ashore. Which shore was the question? He was spared the decision. Ahead of him was a rocky island with a bonfire. He did not know if he was intruding on a party of Bosmeri or Khajiit, only that he could swim no more. With straining, aching muscles, he pulled himself onto the rocks. They were Bosmer refugees, he gathered, even before they told him. Roasting over the fire were the remains of one of the giant cats that had been stalking him through the jungle on the opposite shore. Sensei Tiger, said one of the young warriors ravenously. It's no animal. It's as smart as any Cathayrot, or Ohms, or any other bleeding Khajiit. Pity this one drowned. I would have gladly killed it. You'll like the meat, though. Sweet, from all the sugar these asses eat. Scotty did not know if he was capable of eating a creature as intelligent as a man or mare, but he surprised himself, as he had done several times over the last days. It was rich, succulent, and sweet, like sugared pork, but no seasonings had been added. He surveyed the crowd as he ate, a sad lot, some still weeping for lost family members. They were the survivors of both the villages of Grenos and Athe, and war was on every person's lips. Why had the Khajiit attacked again? Why, specifically directed at Scotty as a Cyrodiil, why was the Emperor not enforcing peace in his provinces? I was to meet another Cyrodiil, he said to a Bosmer maiden who he understood to be from Athe. His name was Leodes Juris. I don't suppose you know what might have happened to him. I don't know your friend, but there were many Cyrodiils in Athe when the fire came, said the girl. Some of them, I think, left quickly. They were going to Vindisi, inland in the jungle. I am going there tomorrow, so are many of us. If you wish, you may come as well. Decimus Scotty nodded solemnly. He made himself as comfortable as he could in the stony ground of the river island, and somehow, after much effort, he fell asleep. But he did not sleep well. Nice. I love Wayne Jarth's books. How is it that I'm getting, like, favorite authors in a fictional world? Wayne Jarth writes the best books. Alright.
You bother us. Do not
I bother
waste
you.
our time.
Nine Toes. You're in Balmora. Go ahead and ask your question. The Decimus Scotty books are great because he's just like such a little putz. I don't know if I'm using that word right, but he's like such a little man. You know, he's the he's like a clerk. He's a guy who works in an office, and then he gets sent all over, and all this bad stuff happens to him, and he's just like doesn't know what to do because he's like, can I Xerox it? I don't know. Okay. K-Brat, citizen of the Empire. Little advice. What do you do? I am a hunter. I range across the ashlands and wastes, hunting for meat and hides. I know the native creatures of Vardenfell, and I know to avoid diseased creatures and the blighted creatures, for they are foul and worthless, and deadly to the careless hunter. I know the ashlands and the grazelands, Azura's coasts and Molaga Moor, and I can tell you of these places. Okay. Oh, you like my gravelly voice? I swear all of them have gravelly voices. Except for the women, but all the guys do. Oh, another book. What's this?
So
Lives of
much
the
to
Saints?
remember.
I read that one. Read that one. Okay, back downstairs. Have I looked in here? Nothing in there. Let me make sure I didn't get turned around. Yeah, I did. I'm supposed to be... I need to check out Rayron Rodaris' house. That's what I need to do. This way. This way. Rayron Rodaris' house. And also whatever's in here, like these 20 dire frost arrows, restore personality, cup, goblet plate, soul gem, and gold, of course. I'm early enough in the game that like 6 gold makes a difference. 6 gold at a time. Alright, close that. What's here in this basket? Nothing. Okay. Oh, her house is locked. Almost like she doesn't want people just walking into her house uninvited. Weird. You live in a video game. Actually, it might be a guy. I'm not sure. But that means you should be okay with people. Oh. It's locked because you're not home? That's fine, I suppose. Do you have any, no, you don't know any rumors. Do you know a secret? Never take a life carelessly. It cheapens you and diminishes you. Take life seriously if taking life is your profession. Okay. I will take my life very seriously. Balmora Eastern Guard Tower. I haven't been in the guard towers yet. I think I want to go this way and up over. Okay, that's someone's roof. Caius Cosades. Boo. Caius Cosades wants me to work for the Empire. Never. Rithleen.
How do I know you're not up to something devious?
I'm just here to see. Then she says, "Greetings, citizen." That's the same thing. I've read that before. She doesn't have any rumors. She doesn't have any rumors for me. She has a book on her bed called The Mirror that I've not seen before, and it taught me something. My block skill. Neato. The Mirror by Birdier Reens. The wind blew over the open plain, jostling the few trees within to move back and forth with the irritation of it. A young man in bright green turban approached the army and gave his chieftain's terms for peace to the commander. He was refused. It was to be battle. The Battle of Ain Kolur. So the chief... How would I say that? I just think it'd be Imbez. So the chief Imbez had decreed his open defiance, and his horsemen were at war once again. Many times the tribe had moved into territory that was not theirs to occupy, and many times the diplomatic approach had failed. It had come to this at long last. It was just as well with Mindothrax. His allies may win or lose, but he would always survive. Though he had occasionally been on the losing side of a war, never once in all his 34 years had he lost in hand-to-hand combat. The two armies poured like dual frothing streams through the dust, and when they met, a clamor rang out, echoing into the hills. Blood, the first liquor the clay had tasted in many a month, danced like powder. The high and low battle cries of the rival tribes met in harmony as the armies dug into one another's flesh. Mindothrax was in the element he loved. After 10 hours of fighting, with no ground given, both commanders called a mutual and honorable withdrawal from the field. The camp was positioned in a high-walled garden of an old burial ground adorned by springtide blossoms. As Mindothrax toured the grounds, he was reminded of his childhood home. It was a happy and sad recollection. The purity of the childhood ambition, all of his schooling in the ways of battle, but tinged with memories of his poor mother. A beautiful woman looking down at her son with both pride and unspoken sorrow. She had never talked about what troubled her, but it came as no surprise to any when she took the walk across the moors and was found days later, her throat slit open. Hey! Thank you for the follow, Polywoggy! A beautiful woman looking down at her son with both pride and unspoken sorrow. She never talked about what troubled her, but it came as no surprise to any when she took the walk across the moors and was found days later, her throat slit open by her own hand. I didn't mean to interrupt my reading. No worries, no worries. I used to have it set so that that little thing wouldn't pop up while I was reading, and it would pop up afterwards. But I actually didn't like it that way, and I would rather be interrupted and know right when you follow. So no worries. No worries at all. Thank you for the follow. You now have access to the follower emotes. I'm not sure exactly which ones those are. I know that at least one of them, the Where's Garlic one, oh, and the book one, those were both custom made by the channel artist. The others were just kind of ones that I threw together, but for the follower emotes, there are a couple custom made ones in there too. So I hope you enjoy. Thank you. I appreciate it. The army itself was like a colony of ants newly shaken. Within a half hour's time, after the end of the battle, they had reorganized as if by instinct. As the medicos looked to the wounded, someone remarked, with a measure of admiration and astonishment, "Look at Mindothrax. His hair isn't even out of place." "He is a mighty swordsman," said the attending physician. "The sword is a greatly overvalued article," said Mindothrax, nevertheless pleased with the attention. "Warriors pay too much attention to striking and not enough in defending strikes. The proper way to go into battle is to defend yourself and to hit your opponent only when the ideal moment arises." "I prefer a more straightforward approach," smiled one of the wounded. "It is the way of the horsemen." "If it is the way of the Buolse tribes to fail, then I renounce my heritage," said Mindothrax, making a quick sign to the spirits that he was being expressive, not blasphemous. "Remember what the great blade master Gaiden Shinji said. The best techniques are passed on by the survivors. I have been in 36 battles and I haven't a scar to show for them. That is because I rely on my shield and then my blade, in that order. What is your secret? Think of melee as a mirror. I look at my opponent's left arm when I am striking with my right. If he is prepared to block my blow, I blow not. Why exert undue force?" Mindothrax cocked an eyebrow. "But when I see his right arm tense, my left arm goes to my shield. You see, it takes twice as much power to send force than it does to deflect it. When your eye can recognize whether your opponent is striking from above, or at angle, or in an uppercut from below, you learn to pivot and place your shield just so to protect yourself. I could block for hours if need be, but it only takes a few minutes or even seconds for your opponent, used to battering, to leave a space open for your own strike." This is the same author as Dance and Fire. Was it? Was it? No, this is Bertie Areens. A Dance and Fire is written by Wayne Jarth, unless you mean like out-of-game author. The real-life author. Okay. Those I haven't been keeping track of. I imagine there's a lot of crossover. Many of the fake authors are a single person, I would imagine. As how else could you get such wonderful, like, overlapping disagreement, if that makes sense? I love it. I love how all of the books are unreliable narrators. Sorry you disappeared for a bit. No worries, no worries. I'm still reading, apparently. I'm looking around trying to find quests and I keep finding books. And I'm not going to complain. Where was I at? There we are. "What was the longest you've ever had to defend yourself?" asked the wounded man. "I fought a man once for an hour's time," said Mindothrax. "He was tireless with his bludgeoning, never giving me a moment to do aught but block his strikes. But finally, he took a moment too long in raising his cudgel, and I found my mark in his chest. He struck my shield 1,000 times, and I struck his heart but once. But that was enough. So he was your greatest opponent? Asked the medico. Oh, indeed not, said Mindothrax, turning his great shield so the silvery metal reflected his own face. There is he. The next day, the battle recommenced. Chief Imbez had brought in reinforcements from the islands to the south. To the horror and disgrace of the tribe, mercenaries, renegade horsemen, and even some Reachman witches were included in the war. As Mindothrax stared across the field at the armies assembling, putting on his helmet and readying his shield and blade, he thought again of his poor mother. What had tortured her so? Why had she never been able to look at her son without grief? Between sunrise and sundown, the battle raged. A bright blue sky overhead burned down on the combatants as they rushed against one another over and over again. In every melee, Mindothrax prevailed. A foe with an axe rained a series of strokes against his shield, but every one was deflected until at last Mindothrax could best the warrior. A spear maiden nearly pierced the shield with her first strike, but Mindothrax knew how to give with the blow, throwing her off balance and leaving her open for his counterstrike. Finally, he met a mercenary on the field, armed with shield and sword and a helm of golden bronze. For an hour and a half they battled. Mindothrax tried every trick he knew. When the mercenary tensed his left arm, he held back his strike. When his opponent rose his sword, his shield rose too and expertly blocked. For the first time in his life, he was battling another defensive fighter. Stationary, reflective, with energy to battle for days if need be. Occasionally, another warrior would enter into the fray, sometimes from Mindothrax's army, sometimes from his opponent's. These distractions were swiftly dispatched, and the champions returned to their fight. As they fought, circling one another, matching block for blow and blow for block, it dawned on Mindothrax that here at last he was fighting the perfect mirror. It became more a game, almost a dance, than a battle of blood. It was not until Mindothrax missed his own step, striking too soon, throwing himself off balance, that the promenade was ended. He saw, rather than felt, the mercenary's blade rip across him from throat to chest. A good strike, the sort he himself might have delivered. Mindothrax fell to the ground, feeling his life passing. The mercenary stood over him, prepared to give his worthy adversary the killing blow. It was a strange, honorable deed for an outsider to do, and Mindothrax was greatly moved. Across the battlefield, he heard someone call a name, similar to his own. Jurifax! The mercenary removed his helmet to answer the call. As he did so, Mindothrax saw through the slits of his helmet his own reflection in the man. It was his own close-set eyes, red and brown hair, thin and wide mouth, and blunt chin. For a moment he marveled at the mirror, before the stranger turned back to him and delivered the death stroke. Jurifax returned to his commander and was well paid for his part in the day's victory. They retired for a hot meal under the stars in a garden by the old cairn that had previously been occupied by their foes. The mercenary was strangely quiet as he observed the land. "Have you been here before, Jurifax?" asked one of the tribesmen who had hired him. "I was born a horseman just like you. My mother sold me when I was just a babe. I've always wondered how my life might have been different had I not been bartered away. I might never have been a mercenary." "There are many things that decide our fate," said the witch. "It is madness to try to see how you might have taken this turn or that in the world. There are none exactly like yourself, so it is foolish to compare." "But there is one," said Jurifax, looking at the stars. "My master, before he set me free, said that my mother had twin sons when I was born. She could only afford to raise but one child, but somewhere out there's a man just like me, my brother. I hope to meet him." The witch saw the spirits before her and knew the truth that the twins had met already. She remained silent and stared into the fire, banishing the thoughts from her head, too wise to tell all. Yeah, that's something you don't really say. That was a good one. I liked that one. I enjoyed that a lot. Alright, the mirror. Added. Okay. Someone had a book. In their house. They're not all uncultured swine here. This is a different person. Yeah.
Ask a cup.
Let's see. Astius Hannah Hellas's house. I don't have any lockpicks, okay.
Stay out of trouble and you won't.
Yes, this is Balmora. Tell me what you want. You don't have any. Oh, you threw a punch? Sorry. Let's try that again.
This is pointless. Give in.
Whack! Whack! Big whack! Big whack! Big whack! 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 Big whack! Big whack! Ahaha! He missed it. He went for the punch. That was my bad. I forgot to pause it while I was talking to him. So it didn't do the punch like it would have if I'd paused it. But I did the punch for you. I hope that's okay. Pollywoggy. So my character is Chatters can make her punch or swing her axe or anything, and I've decided that this makes sense for her because she's not very psychologically healthy, and sometimes does things that she's not even sure why she does them. She just lashes out violently with no thought, really. But no one saw her murder that guy, right? You love the sound effects. So if no one sees me murder someone, then that means it's fine, right? What's a probe? Is that not a lockpick? Oh, I can equip it. Might as well try to get into, like, its stuff now. Oh, I'll take that. Oh, there we go. I probably have all the ceramic bowls I need. What spell is it currently set at? I believe it's currently set for, Berserk. Wait, yeah, it's set for Berserk because that's the one that I have in my main spot. Probe disables traps. Oh, you swung my weapon? Let me try that again. Sorry, there you go. I keep opening things and not pausing it like I should. The queue. You have so many points to burn. I definitely have that problem on some channels. What was it yesterday? I was on Microduck's channel and I was just spamming quacks because they were only 5 points and I convinced him to take the cooldown off. And I have like 15,000, over 15,000 points, and they're like 5 each, so I'm just spamming quacks.
Make it quick, Orc.
I don't believe you. I don't believe I've seen you before. I don't believe you. That's not what she said. Oh, do you know Galerion? Almalexia blessed me with many children. Sadly, they all went their separate ways. Perhaps you know Adreno. I'm proud of her, but wish she were closer. Shirik was always the dutiful son, but his duty took him to the Indorils and the mainland. Ulina is very kind, but also a Telvanni. A contradiction, I know. Galerion, my other son, is a sailor. Would you deliver a letter to him to remind him he has a mother? There's one channel I have 320,000 points on because you got lucky with a gamble. Oh my goodness. That's a lot of points. That's a lot of points. I hardly have any points on Ansu's stream because I kept getting unlucky with my bets. People kept letting me down. So I have like barely any points on his stream. Every time I bet on there, I bet wrong. Alright, I'll agree to deliver the letter, but you better pay me. And also, let me put it here. What I'm doing. This is Dralsea Arethi asked me to give a letter to Gals Arethi in Sadrith Mora. Okay. Let's see. Anything else? Well, how about Adreno Arethi? She has done well for herself, hasn't she? A house cousin at her age. She is only one of my children. Oh, she is the only one of my children who stayed loyal to House Halalu. But lately she's been assigned to business in Vivec and has forgotten all about her dear old mother. Oh, Dralsea, you're just so forgotten. Poor you. Alright, goodbye. Alright, what's up here? Oh, this is just your roof. You guys don't have anything on your roofs. You need to put barbecues up there. Seriously. Trust me. Barbecue on the roof. It's the best. What's this? Oh, that's the Eastern Guard Tower. Alright, 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 alright. That's the temple where I was at. I think I've gone all the way around. Have I been to the Lucky Lockup though? I think I have been all around Balmora. So what I need to do is look.
No, I don't think so.
She startled me. What quest am I doing? What quest am I gonna do next? Right, I was looking for the forks and cups and things. Blue clay pots, brooms, buckets, pieces of paper. Oh, I should have been picking up paper and spools. I haven't been picking up paper and spools. She says you haven't been to Lucky Lockup? Alright, Alone in Dystopia. I'll take a look at Lucky Lockup. Which was over here. By the Council Club. I don't know, I might have gone in it when I was looking for Tia. But I don't know if I've asked them for any quests. That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for quests. Is this the right way? No, that's the wrong way. I know which way I'm going, and it's not that way, it's this way. Like, I shouldn't be going up. I should be going down towards the river. Have I already looked in here? Yeah. Okay. But the Lucky Lockup is right over here. Let's take a look. It must be this. I think it's this. Lucky Lockup. Let's go in and see what's in here. I'm not sure I have.
You
been
will
in here.
address me with respect.
She should address me with respect too. Oh, she doesn't have any rumors. Let's see.
You bother us. Do not waste our time.
Okay. I just want to know if you know any rumors. Any rumors? Fast Eddie was complaining the other day about how he was overlooked for advancement in House Telvanni. Again. Okay. Fast Eddie might have a grudge against House Telvanni. Fast Eddie. I love that name, by the way. Fast Eddie is the least Morrowind sounding name ever. But it's awesome, right? You can't deny the awesomeness of the name. Oh, the lute and the drums? Alright, Hickam. Oh, Jazz, coming back. I hope your nap went well. You had a great nap. And thank you for coming back by, even if it's just a little bit of a drive-by. What is he fast at? He's fast at being Eddie. I feel like I've heard that nickname several times in my life. Fast Eddie? It's a good name. I like it. I enjoy it, even if it's not very Morrowindy. But I don't think this guy has much to say to me right now. He has barter, though. What's he barter? Lockpicks. I bet he's in the Thieves Guild. I bet. How much do they cost? Oh, you get 25 uses. Oh, okay. Interesting. Apprentice probe and lockpick. 25 uses. How much do they cost? 67 gold? Sure. I'll do that. Now I have some lockpicks again. Shoe Grub, Grabalnog, Secludus Medius, Regira, Dralsea Fornath, and Hotred Pete. Who are these? Lauren Fast Eddie Oopsum sounds good. Yeah, just call me Fast Eddie. It's fine. Bye, Jazz. Thank you for stopping by. Have a good stream. Might stop by afterwards. Let's see. Okay. Out of that, I talked to her. Did I talk to him? I must have, right? I talked to him. I don't remember who I've talked to. Oh, here it says, welcome to Lucky Lockup. We cater to travelers and visitors here in Balmora. We have beds and drinks, Flynn, Grief, Madsti, Sujama, imported Cyrodiilic brandy, and a little sheen left, but only a little, as the last shipment of sheen I ordered was misplaced. Ah. That reminds me, I need to level up. I forgot to do that. But I can level up, and probably I can just go sleep in the Fighters Guild and not have to pay this guy. This is my guess. What's Flynn? Imported Cyrodiilic whiskey is called Flynn. This stimulating beverage is imported and expensive, but has none of the unpleasant side effects of other intoxicating beverages. A sharp boost in strength and willpower is what most people experience. Ah, your children's names. What about grief? What's grief? A native Calmberry brandy is locally called grief. Grief is a strong stimulant, but like all intoxicants, it tends to impair physical coordination. That is, it makes you feel really strong, but makes you clumsy. Okay, tell me about the shipment, because maybe I can help you with that. You want to hear about that? I ordered Sheen via the East Empire Company as usual, but instead I got bottles of something called Shine. It smells terrible and seems to be some kind of cleaning product. I don't have time to go all the way to Ebonheart to sort it out or to find a buyer for the Shine stuff, if it's worth anything. Well, I can deal with the Shine. You would? Really? Here you go. It's heavy, though not as heavy as 5 full crates of Sheen. Either find out what happened to my shipment and get that sent here, or find someone to buy this stuff. The Sheen cost me 450 drakes, so that's the minimum I'd want for this Shine stuff. Okay. Goodbye. Am I over encumbered? He said it's heavy.
Wonder if she heard me
The
say
answer is
that.
yes. Okay, but I can barter with you, right? How about I sell you these Kwama eggs? Wow. You pay shit, man. Oh, you don't buy that, huh? Okay. Am I still over encumbered? Yes. Darn it. Oh man, I gotta get rid of more than 10 pounds. More than 10 pounds I have to get rid of. Expensive amulet? I think I'd rather wear that. There we go. What's the shine weight? I should check that. Must be this. 90. The shine weighs 90. I'm really like, what, 13 over? Which isn't undeal-withable. Letter to gals. Dearest son, how are things on your ship? You must spend hours and hours sailing from port to port with nothing to do, but you never take the time to write your poor old mother a letter? What will your ancestors think when you meet them? Why don't you come to Balmora for a visit? You can dock the ship partway up the Odai, you know. I don't live on Akavir. Sharik and that wife of his have a new baby. A girl. Have you seen her? Have you written? I'm sure Ulina and Adreno would love to see you too. Do you just ferry people back and forth every single day? You stay in House Telvanni territory so much. Can't they just teleport for one day? Can't they just teleport for one day so you can come see your mother? Are there any women in your life? Any chance of some very pleasant news? If I planned a family gathering in Vivec for my 60th birthday, would you be able to come? I'm sure everyone else will be there. Surely Adreno isn't still mad at you. You never told me what happened. With love, your mom. I feel like she has more than the average number of children for a dark elf. That woman. Alright, so I gotta get rid of some stuff. How many of these bowls do I need anyway, the ceramic ones? I need 10 of them, so I need more ceramic bowls. I don't need this plate. Let's put it there. I want to get rid of stuff, but I can't go crawling anywhere. So maybe I'll get rid of the axe. Yeah, maybe I'll get rid of the axe. It weighs 30. So that'll get me underweight. And then the next time I pick up an axe, it should be good weight. This Clagius' shopping list. I know I have like 1 or 2 books to read. Well, I'm just gonna set it here. Alright. Okay. Everything in here?
Is it necessary that you speak with me?
No, it's not. Oh, the stuff I just put on the floor. Okay. This is gonna be, that just says door. So what's through here? If I close this. No, I'm not taking things. What am I doing? I'm not taking things. I need to sell things because I've been over encumbered. But I also need to level up. Oh, hi.
No, you look like trouble to me.
Do I? I'm Todd Wendy. Alright, you're Todd Wendy. That's an interesting name. She doesn't have any advice for me. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to come back down here into the main area, and I'm going to save. And I think that's going to be the stream for today. It was mostly reading. But next time I will do some guild quests, as I have picked up a couple guild quests. So let's see. Hanging in the bar. That's what I'll call this save. And I want to say a great big thank you. Thank you to everyone who came by. Pollywoggy, Jazz was here, Alone in Dystopia, another damn peasant, of course. I'm always happy to have you here. So happy to see you. Pyrus the Burned, Blue was here. I know Ozzy was here earlier. Capstan was here. Who else? Kittyfly came by. Kittyfly came by. Matomic Entertainment came by for a little bit. Yeah, great big thank you to everyone. I really, really appreciate you all.
I'm a kitty cat. And I dance, 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 and I dance, 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 cat. I'm a kitty cat. And I dance, 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 and I dance, 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 cat. I'm a kitty cat. And I dance, 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 and I dance, dance, dance.
I love the kitty cat dance. Thank you for the redeem. I hope you all have a great rest of your day. I'm going to be streaming again tomorrow. I haven't decided yet if I will be streaming more Morrowind or Oblivion tomorrow. Probably Morrowind, but there's a small chance I'll do some Oblivion reading instead. So I hope to see you all tomorrow, starting at about the same time I did today, which was 8 a.m. Pacific time. I'm not going to raid anyone today, so I'll say peace. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Live your best life. To sound cheesy, I don't know. Give you a cheesy sign off. Live your best life. Be happy. And see you tomorrow. Bye.